Welcome back to part 2 of our Sodbusters stream tonight. We've got video, we've got audio. Who knew a nice old computer restart would do the trick? Well, we did. Shout out Mason Hendricks next to me. We troubleshooted it. We just thought of everything out loud, and we have it going. So we think. So we are good to go for the first game of this 2-game series between the Nebraska Prospects and the Hastings Sodbusters. Myself, Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein with you here tonight. First pitch is just moments away. Starting lineups have been introduced at the field, but before we get too farther into tonight's game, we'll have tonight's national anthem and its lineups after this. Our national anthem with a little bit of some emergency ambulance assist. Not very good on the harmony there, but great rendition of our anthem behind the home plate nonetheless. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein with you tonight. Steve, we made it. We're 2 radio guys. We were prepared to do it old school style, but we've got video tonight and excited to start this 11-game stretch in 12 days with you, partner.
And I have nothing to say because we need to get the starting lineups and call baseball, although my technical knowledge, restart stuff. That's Mason figured it out, restarted stuff. That is what makes him the technical expert. Let's play baseball.
And it worked. Let's now introduce today's starting lineups. It's the visitors first, the Nebraska Prospects. It's Paul Schuyler to lead things off, playing second base. Finn Hochstein playing third base. Then Jacob Perrin in right field. Elijah Russell at first base. Ripken Fleck at shortstop. Nikolai French, the catcher, he's tonight's beer batter. Sean Robinson in left field. Isaac Borges in center field. And Aiden Martin, the designated hitter. It's J.D. Moffitt getting the start on the mound for the Nebraska Prospects. They're head coached by Gabe Shemwell, a Gretna native and graduate. And now for the Hastings Sodbusters, it's Drew Vega to lead things off in his usual second base spot. Jet Hannaford batting second in center field. Then Cale Jensen in left field. Weston Johnston, the cleanup hitter, as the third baseman. Jude Greaves, the catcher. Then Tyler Welsh, the first baseman. Zane Wilson, tonight's Sodbusters spotlight, the designated hitter in the 7-hole. Chase Miller, the shortstop tonight. And Jackson Crane, the right fielder. And on the mound, it is Miller time tonight, the Hastings native and Hastings High graduate Marcus Miller. He is on the mound tonight and looking for another exceptional start for him. The Hastings Tiger native will be on the mound for his 6th appearance, his 5th start tonight. He's got the 4th most innings under his belt. He's already faced the Nebraska Prospects once this year, which was arguably his best outing of the year, where he stymied the Prospects, only allowing one hit over those 7 2/3 innings for no runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. A 4.40 ERA for Marcus this summer, but the Nebraska Prospects, he fired on all cylinders the last time he faced them back on June the 20th. Sodbusters and Prospects matching up for the 3rd time this summer. Sodbusters are 2-0 against the Prospects. To lead things off, it is Paul Schuyler. The second baseman will watch ball 1 go by. T. Smith's our home plate umpire tonight. John Linden is wearing the umpire black uniforms and doing the field work this evening. The lefty Marcus Miller against the righty Paul Schuyler. It's a breaking ball that finds the bottom of the zone for strike one. Schuyler, a Bellevue native. He spent time at Cloud County Community College and played last year with the Mavericks at the University of Nebraska-Omaha. Didn't have a whole lot of playing time, was a 8-game starter for the Mavs and notched 8 hits and 7 runs this summer for this Nebraska prospect squad. He is a newcomer. He only recently joined the team, but he is a returning guy. In 3 games, he is 4 for 7. Pitch called a strike at the knees. According to T. Smith, Miller works him to a 2-2 count. 4 hits and 7 tries, 2 doubles, a home run, and 3 runs driven in for Mr. Schuyler at the plate. Prospects going with their powder blue uniforms with white numbers and letters on the fronts and backs. Schuyler bounces one to the right side. That's Drew Vega. Easy toss over to first base, and the first out of the ball game is recorded on a lazy ground out.
Again, we had some technical issues earlier, and just to let you know, the official terminology was it was busted. So for now, it is fixed, and I blame AI. I think it's something trying to take us off the air. That's just me.
It's like technology that, as it gets older, it knows that it needs to start wearing down, so it'll get you to buy the newest product. But fortunately for us tonight, and the stream may appear a little bit choppy at times, but it's because we restarted the computer. But life is good here. We get here to the ballpark early. We test everything out. We go do our pregame duties. We come back. It doesn't work. That's life, baby. Here's the next batter of the ball game. Quickly down 0-2. Finn Hochstein. He's a Seward native and played last season at Hutchinson Community College. Had a nice average for them, 314 in 20 games this summer. A 176 hitter in 11 games for the prospects. Miller way ahead. The lefty pumps in high for ball 1. The prospects 7-17, a far cry from their dominating 2023 year where they ran the Independence League with a 25-9 record. A measly 8-24 last year and 7-17 coming into tonight's game. Ground ball that's through the left side and into left field for the first base hit of the game. Finn Hochstein gives the prospects on the hit column board. They already have as many hits as they did in 7 2/3 innings last time out.
Yep, they're ahead of the game against Marcus Miller, and they've had the unfortunate occurrence of going on the road and running out of pitching, so they've had some really bad games go against them, and one of those games where, okay, you're going to pitch until you get 3 outs no matter how many runs you give up. So their ERA a bit inflated.
Yeah, last time we saw them when they were, I think it was a measly 2-7. It's been quite a while since the Sodbusters saw the prospects, which was last on June 20th. So it's been it's been just a bit over 3 weeks, closing in on 4. That was when they were 2-7. And yeah, the prospects, they had an ERA then of over 11 per game, but now that's down to a smaller 8.71 ERA. They've been tagged for 231 runs in 24 games. They're giving up an average of 9.5 runs per game as a pitching staff. In the box, Jacob Perrin, the right fielder for the prospects, pops it up behind the plate, heading towards the seats. Is there a play for Welsh near the dugouts? There is, and he makes the catch. Yeah, just stayed in play and right in front of the guys down the first base dugout. Tyler Welsh makes the catch in foul territory.
Yeah, why is the team ERA over 9? They went to Spearfish the 25th through the 27th of June. Lost 23-4, 22-6, 11-8, and 13-3. A relentless stretch where they just could not get outs.
My quick math does me correctly. That's 69 runs in 4 games. My goodness. But the Spearfish Sasquatch, they are the big dogs of the league this year. They lead the league, and as we mentioned, they're the first half champions, 27-11 record. Well, they're only 2 games in front of the Casper Spuds for first place overall. Next batter is Elijah Russell, the cleanup hitter. Taking ball 1 downstairs. Quick look at the defense for the Hastings Sodbusters behind Miller from left to right field. It's Cale Jensen, Jet Hannaford, Jackson Crane. Third to first base, Weston Johnston, Chase Miller, Drew Vega, and Tyler Welsh. Jude Greaves doing the catching tonight. Finn Hochstein remains at first base after his 1-out single. Curveball dives low and in for 2 ball, 1 strike counts. Early returns for Marcus Miller, low 80s, about 80 to 82 on the fastball, and the curveball in the high 60s at 68 or 69 miles an hour. Miller's been slowly increasing the velocity over the past 3 years, just completed his third campaign with Hastings College. Curveball shaves off the inside corner for 2 ball, 2 strike counts. Remember when we saw Miller back in 2023, his fastball maybe topped out at 80. He was sat probably 77 to 79. He's up a few miles an hour, just a couple every year. Deuces wild in this top of the first inning. Miller misses high end away to Elijah Russell. He's a Waverly native in the transfer portal, most recently at Southeast Community College, hitting 121 in 13 games, 4 for 33, but one of those hits has left the yard. Now it's a payoff pitch. Hochstein can get a head start on the base pass. There he goes. Breaking ball, called strike 3 at the top of the zone. A backwards K ends the first inning. Elijah Russell caught looking, and Miller works a scoreless inning on his hometown field. Bottom of the first headed your way. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein, back with you in a few moments.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Back at Duncan Field, it's the bottom of the first inning. Little action for the prospects beside the 1 hit in the first inning, which was left stranded. And the Hastings Sodbusters, they'll look to continue their winning ways at home. Much different story at home than on the road. That's what it's been for the past 2 years. 15-6 record at home for the good guys, and just a 6-10 record on the road. You look at the stats, and the hitting numbers aren't all that different. 260 here at Duncan versus 256 on the road, but a 3.27 ERA here at home and a 6.68 ERA on the road. So it's been the pitching staff that has let down the Sodbusters on the road. Their offense has been slowly but steadily coming back into form here, as they were struggling at the end of June to score runs. Sodbusters did break open for 11 runs against Fremont on Friday, and they will look to do so against J.D. Moffitt here tonight. He is a returning guy from Omaha. He's got 2 appearances for the prospects this season, both very spread out. Last out 9 days ago, but on the season, 2 2/3 innings pitched, no record. He's given up 10 runs, which all of them were in one game, in 1 2/3 innings. That was against the Fremont Moo back on June the 14th, so his ERA very inflated, but just one bad outing for him this summer season. If you're looking for that exact number, 26.25 ERA, gave up 10 earned runs in an inning and 2/3, and then against Fremont on July 5th, no runs in a clean inning of work. Drew Vega, the first to lead things off for the Sodbusters. He'll take strike 1 at the knees.
And I predict if the Sodbusters can get to 26 that they'll win this baby.
I think so too. Teams are probably 1,000-0 or infinity in 0 when scoring 26 or more runs a game, if I had to guess. Again, the prospects, they were on a losing end of a barn burner not too long ago, a couple weekends ago. More about that after the pitch to Drew Vega. The 1-1 counts to the Sodbusters' second baseman, but Moffitt first steps off. Dardanelle, Arkansas native, just finished up his sophomore season at Arkansas Tech. Did Drew, and a .224 hitter. He smokes that one down the left field line. High fly ball. Sean Robinson going over in foul territory. He makes the catch while almost losing it in the sun. Right as it went into his glove, he turned away, almost blinded by the sun. That long fly ball finally comes down in the mitt for out number 1.
The first left field adventure of probably many today here at Duncan Field with a high sky. It is getting to be the worst time of night to play left field here at Duncan.
So as we mentioned, that barn burner of a game against Fremont 9 days ago, that was a 15-14 game. Two teams, they were supposed to play a doubleheader that day. Called a strike on the outside corner to Jet Hannaford, who is hitting .287 this summer. That was a 7-inning game that took several hours longer than it needed to. The only reason the prospects led 14-10 going into the bottom of the 7th, and then the Fremont Moose scored 5 to walk it off, and that was on a walk-off grand slam down by 3 runs. Probably one of the most memorable and best home runs you can ever hit in your life. Hannaford way out in front of that breaking ball by Moffitt. 1 ball and 2 strikes for him. Hannaford from Mountain Home, Arkansas, and stays home to play college baseball with his head coach here, Josh Printer. 23 hits for Hannaford. He was 4 for 14 in the road series. Down low and in. Had a double and 2 runs driven in. Didn't play for ASU Mountain Home in the spring. But Mr. Hannaford lives up to his first name in Jets. Very speedy guy. Second in the team in stolen bases. But he's got to find his way on here first before he can start to think about that. J.D. Moffitt's 2-2 pitch, called strike 3, shaved off the inside edge, and Hannaford is caught looking for out number 1.
Good job for Moffitt. Nice pitch selection. And you mentioned you have one game like that. It takes you the rest of the season to try to come back.
And a correction, that is out number 2, as Vega Hannaford retired back-to-back. And Cale Jensen back with the Hastings Sodbusters for a 3rd year here, and he's going to take strike 1 on the outside corner. Cale Jensen playing in his 9th game. He was busy on the road and had a 3 for 14 mark against Oahe and Fremont. The 0-1 pitch just misses outside. Jensen also responsible for the 3rd home run of the season for the Hastings Sodbusters against the Oahe Zap in Game 2 of the doubleheader, which they lost 10-4. Jensen cracked a no-doubt home run to right field up in Pierre. 1-1. Sounded like a busted bat. A roller out to second. Fielding is Paul Schuyler, and the toss over to first, and that is in time for the outs. We'll have to check on the lumber there, but Sodbusters quieted in order in the first. No score. We head to the 2nd inning at Duncan Fields.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
The Hastings Sodbusters in the 2nd inning here. As we told you, they're in a stretch of 11 games in 12 days. They're going to have 7 straight in a row, a game every day from now until Sunday. Got Monday off, and then Tuesday through Thursday here at home, and then Friday, Saturday on the road. That's it. Sodbusters needing to make up some ground. Look at the second half Independence League standings. It's Oahe leading the way right now with a 9-4 second half record. Casper right behind them at 8-4. Spearfish, the first half champions, at 8-3. Fremont at 6-6. Hastings at 5-4, and prospects who are not eligible for the playoffs with a 2-3 record. It's the team's third matchup of the season. Sodbusters won the first 2 matchups of the season by scores of 7-1 and 7-0. The Sodbuster offense as well had their way as well with the Fremont pitching staff. They out-hit them 19-7 in a span of 2 games. Bit of an on-field delay right now. It's some sort of helmet. Oh, I see. Okay, we've got Gabe Shemwell, the prospect's head coach, was just wearing his ball cap, which I guess the law of the land is you have to wear a protective helmet if you're a base coach, which I believe is indeed the rule. So Shemwell's now got some protection on the old noggin down at third base. So we've got Shemwell at third base for the prospects, and one of the players is coaching the Nebraska prospects at first base, and the white numbers and letters aren't doing us any favors, especially with that said person standing in the sun. Try and get a number on that as soon as we can. Ripken Fleck quickly fouling off 2 pitches here in this first at-bat of the top of the second inning. He's the 5th place hitter, and yeah, what a name. He goes on our All-Independence League names list. Ripken Fleck, we asked him right at the start of the season, and he is indeed named after the great Cal Ripken. And get this, he plays shortstop too. His parents knew what they were doing, naming his kid that, and he's playing collegiate summer ball. Ripken Fleck out of Omaha and Augustana University. 19 games for him this summer. One of the higher averages on the team at .305. Miller still ahead in the count, 1-2. The lefty to the righty. Tried the backdoor breaking ball, but left it outside.
And if he were the starting second baseman, we would have said he was named after Billy Ripken, who was Cal's brother, who played a lot of second base. The lesser known of the Ripken brothers.
2-2 pitch outside, and that's what the favorite thing about these broadcasts are. You know, I classify myself as a young blood. Steve's got the older references too. Is there a third Ripken that we don't know about too, Steve?
Well, Cal Sr. Cal
Okay.
They played for their dad. Yep.
That makes sense, yep. Well, the 3-2 pitch is inside for ball 4, so unfortunately Miller loses Fleck after he had him 0-2. And that's the first walk of the game. Miller had, like we mentioned, an excellent outing against the prospects last time. 7 2/3 innings, only 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. So he's already allowed the 1 hit and 1 walk here, so if he just pitches perfect baseball the rest of the way through, he could match that total. But first it's the beer batter, Nikolai French. The catcher watches ball 1 go by. And French, tonight's beer batter. Sodbusters done a pretty good job at striking out the beer batter, and you probably know the drill by now. If the beer batter strikes out, it is a discounted price beer at Duncan Field, depending on what the Upper Deck Bar has in stock on a day-to-day basis.
So it's Miller today, because anytime it's Marcus Miller, it's going to be Miller time.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be licensed like that, too. It's probably in their distributing deal. Anytime Marcus Miller's on the mound, Miller Lite.
And just for a bonus, we're playing Chase Miller at shortstop today.
There you go. We got Miller on the bump, Miller at short. There's even another Chase in the dugout, too. The Miller, Chase, and Phillips connection. That could be the Chase Miller Phillips band.
Oh, yeah. So much
The
confusion.
lesser-known group of the Steve Miller band. Not really. Nikolai French with the 1-1 count. Miller pumps home a fastball that gets by him for strike 2. French, another Omaha native. College ball at South Dakota State University at the Division I level. Tough go for him this summer, though. 13 games, just 4 hits in 36 tries. However, 2 of them have been doubles. Be a perfect night for the beer batter to strike out. Can Miller do the job? Runner on the move. It's chopped in front of the plate. It's a fair ball. Jude Greaves has trouble picking it up, but he does make the play, and it's out in time. A swinging bunt at first base is recorded. So the out is there. Fleck advances to second. Greaves and the runner French got tangled up a little bit, but no obstruction or interference of any kind called. They let that play out, and it's the first out.
Really good job for Jude Greaves to hang with that, because that was not an easy play, and he had to throw it pretty quickly as Nikolai got down the line in good shape.
And the fact that Greaves didn't handle it well and got to rush the throw a little bit, but got it there in plenty of time with the catcher running. Here's Sean Robinson. The slow breaking ball falls right in the zone for strike one. Robinson from Omaha, college ball at St. Cloud State University. 10 games for him for the Prospects this summer, but just a 2 for 27 mark. Pitch on the way, up and away. And that is ball one. Miller on the mound tonight for the Hastings Sodbusters, and he's going to have some time off for coaching for the rest of the week, in games rather. He's one of the assistant coaches for one of the junior Hastings Area Legion teams, who will start the area tournament later this week up in Kearney. Chopped foul behind the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sean Robinson. As a team, the Prospects hitting a total of 229 as a team. 165 hits for them for the summer. They're averaging just about 6 or 7 hits per game. And just a little bit less in the run column, about 6 runs. Runner at second base. Fastball high and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sean Robinson, then Isaac Borges, and then Aiden Martin if we get that far here in the second inning. Miller likes the first sign that Jude Greaves gives him. Just missed down low, looked pretty good. Breaking ball was just a bit low according to T. Smith. Flight Scope liked it though. The only opinion matters in the man behind the plates. So Miller will have to throw at least one more pitch this at-bat. Fouled off the leg, and that smarts a little bit by Robinson.
And our Flight Scope information is brought to you by Eagle Distributing. The umpire information brought to you by no one. So I think, we have to mention that, the Flight Scope. And do we have to take Flight Scope's side on that? I don't know. I'm going with the blue.
We're still a few years away probably from robo-umps in the Independence League. A 3-2. That one's good enough for strike 3. That's a fastball at the bottom of the zone. And that's the second strikeout. Second backwards K for Marcus Miller. There's 2 outs in the inning. So he gets the strikeout there, and now 1 pitch closer to ending this thing in the second inning. Sodbusters looking for another 0 on the scoreboard. Nebraska Prospects trying to win their first game over the Hastings Sodbusters this summer. Pitches outside to the 8th place hitter, the aforementioned Isaac Borges. Borges, the center fielder for the Prospects. He's a Lincoln native from Southeast Community College, a 143 average for him this summer. 3 hits in 8 games. But makes up for it in center field. He'll send it to center field. Here comes Hannaford. The headlong dive. He makes the catch. Jets in, and he robs Isaac Borges of a base hit and would likely have given the Prospects the lead. Instead, we still go to the second inning scoreless. Sodbusters will try to change that when we return from historic Duncan Fields.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Well, after the prospects go down in the second inning, it's the Sodbusters' turn to try and break through in the second inning. We're just getting underway here in this 9-inning contest. Tonight and tomorrow, the Nebraska prospects, and then Wednesday through Saturday, it's the Bison baseball squad, as they will play for a 3-game series here at home. Wednesday through Friday, and then the Fremont Moo coming to town for 2 games Saturday and Sunday. The Bison baseball squad just getting their season going about a week and a half ago. They are still winless in 10 games, but they were a team that's got one of their 2 wins last year from this Hastings Sodbusters squad, a team that so desperately needs to have a very clean and hopefully easy 11 games to keep themselves in playoff contention here at the end of the season. Weston Johnston to lead things off for the Hastings Sodbusters in this bottom of the second inning. Steve Stein, myself, Ryan Belenta, pleased to be joined with you on this Monday evening. Temperatures could be worse, could be better here in the 90-degree range. At 91 feels like 95, and the winds out of the south-southeast at 10 miles an hour, meaning it's blowing pretty much straight in at Duncan Field. Weston Johnston behind on the breaking ball, quickly 0-2. Johnston, he had the best road series in 4 games for the Hastings Sodbusters. 6 hits, 5 of them singles, a double, and 3 runs driven in. Continues to lead the team in most offensive categories in average and hits. But he will not find a hit in this at-bat as he has punched out another backwards K. That's 4 strikeouts for combined for both sides of pitching, and all of them have been backwards Ks. So Johnston down on strikes. 4 up and 4 down for J.D. Moffitt, the prospects pitcher. And now here's Jude Greaves. First pitch into him is inside for ball 1. Jude Greaves against the prospects this summer has 3 hits in 8 tries, which all were singles in those games. Another pitch is also called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jude Greaves hitting .246 in 19 games, 14 for 57 for the average for him. Jude Greaves, he was not in action in the road series for the Sodbusters. Chops one to the left side. Tough play for Ripken Fleck. The long backhanded throw gets away from the first baseman, and Jude Greaves is safe at first base. That'll be an infield single. Would have been a tough play for Fleck anyways if he does make a good throw.
I don't think Cal or Billy could have made that play. Yeah, maybe Cal could have going to his backside and making that throw, but it would have been tough.
That was a very tough spot. Really the only play there would have been if Hochstein at third base would have been able to cut that off, but not to be. The first base runner and hit of the game belongs to Jude Greaves, who continues to see the prospects well in his first 2+ games now. Here's Tyler Welsh, Tucson native, and just got his bachelor's degree at Hastings College a couple months ago. Playing his final season of baseball before he begins his real estate journey back home in Arizona after the conclusion of this season. 0-1, soft fly ball popping down the first base line. It is foul, though. Very close to a Bermuda Triangle bloop shot for Tyler Welsh, but not quite to be. After struggling to start the year, Welsh has kind of found his bat as of recent. He played in a few games in the road series and went 2 for 7 with a pair of runs driven in. He's now up to 6 hits in 11 games, and 3 of them have been doubles. So when he does find the barrel on the ball, it usually finds a gap. Greaves remains at first base. Moffitt ahead of Welsh, 0-2. The pitch. That's hit pretty good to left field. Over towards Robinson in the sun again towards the line. And no troubles with the sun this time. He makes the catch for out number 2. Welsh, a pretty good swing on it, but nothing to show for it.
And Robinson did a good job. You say no problem, but he kind of had to reach back to his left. There's no perfect way when that sun gets to you. And it wasn't the most fluid of catch, but you're just happy to put one in the glove and take it out. And he's looking up there right there. Okay, how can I play that better the next time?
Probably seeing a sunspot in the eyes for the next inning or so. And now here is Zane Wilson, tonight's Sodbuster spotlight, and he wears that right on the leg. Pitch running inside, and Wilson is plunked by the pitch. Fourth time he has been hit by a pitch, and that is in the 38 games now, 93rd time a Sodbuster's been hit this summer. They've probably maybe have the ball magnet title of the Independence League. So now it's first and second with 2 outs, and the bottom of the order trying to give the Sodbusters the lead tonight. Here is Chase Miller. He's starting shortstop for the Hastings Sodbusters out of Walkerton, Indiana. Strike right down Broadway for strike one, just like Zane Wilson, teammates with Chase Miller at Saginaw Valley State. Both guys just finished up their freshman years. Miller didn't see a whole lot of playing time in the spring, just 10 games and recorded 3 hits. For the Sodbusters this summer, 7 hits and a 194 average, a high strike called. That was right at the top of the zone, maybe just above it, according to our flight scope machine. Greaves at second, Wilson at first. Moffitt's got some room to work with 0-2. And the pitch, that runs inside for ball 1. Miller in the road series against Oahe and Fremont, he went 1 for 6. He did walk 3 times as well. Miller 7 for 36. And tonight's starting shortstop. Breaking ball dives down and in. Good luck by Nikolai French behind the plate. Speaking of the prospects' defense from left to right field, it's Sean Robinson, Isaac Borges, Jacob Perrin. From third base to first, Finn Hochstein, Ripken Fleck, Paul Schuyler, and Elijah Russell. The aforementioned French behind the dish. Deuces Wild in the second inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Up and in, almost hit him. So now it's Moffitt's turn, like Miller did last inning, to have a hitter 0-2 and now work the count full. That's big also because the runners will get a head start. A base hit will almost assuredly mean a run. Can Miller deliver? Here's the payoff pitch. High for ball 4. Moffitt loses him after being way ahead in the counts.
Love the approach there. Good job for Chase. Didn't panic, getting down 0-2. And now Jackson Crane, huge spot here early on as the Sodbusters try to break on top.
Sodbusters stick Jackson Crane in the 9-hole tonight. His average has dipped a bit, but he is still among the leaders in hits for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's got a total of 19 on the summer. Most guys are hovering around that range or a bit higher or lower. Crane went 2 for 9 with a double in the road series in Pierre and Fremont. He also got hit by a pitch twice. Take another one of those right here to get the first run of the game. Let's see if Moffitt can find the strike zone again after he missed with 4 balls in that previous at-bat. Crane down the third base line, just foul. Tried to sneak it inside the bag, but you can see Hochstein there. He is hugging that bag. He is not going to let much get by him over there. Jackson Crane out of Russellville, Arkansas. Spent 2 seasons ago with Arkansas Tech. Last year with ASU Mountain Home, and next season back to Ark Tech. 0-1, and it hits him. There's a broadcaster's jinx you'll take right there. Jackson Crane, he's been the team ball magnet as well. That is the 11th time he's been hit this summer. And the Sodbusters lead at 1-0 on an RBI HBP.
That's why he's the best broadcaster in the Independence League. Ryan Valenta predicting the HBP to get the first run home.
So many people say, nope, broadcasters' curses aren't a thing. I can count. I need more than 2 hands to count how many times we've brought up something. Not just me, Steve too. We've brought up, even just mentioned something. We're not saying it's going to happen, but just say, hey, this has happened. and it happens.
9 more of those, and we'll get a run rule victory. Let's just keep it rolling.
And funny enough, Drew Vega is the other ball magnet on the team. He's been hit 10 times. But Jackson Crane takes the hit-by-pitch team title from him for the moment with 1 extra. But then on the other hand, J.D. Moffitt has lost command of the zone. He's now walked a batter, hit a batter, and gone 2-0 to Vega. He fouled out to left field his first at-bat last inning. The 2-0. Ooh, a high strike called. It's 2-1. Drew Vega at 224. 24 hits for him this summer. He is on the opposite end of a little bit of a midseason slump where he was struggling at the plates. That shaves off an edge. Perfect pitch for Moffitt there to make it 2-2. Bases full of Busters with 2 outs. They've already got the 1-0 lead. But a prime opportunity to give yourself some serious space here in the second. Moffitt trying to slam the door. The 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Vega sprays it out of play towards my car in the parking lot. So the count will remain the same. It's Wilson at third, Miller at second, and Crane at first. Drew Vega, a very good situational hitter, likes to let the ball travel, especially down in the count, and shoot things to right field. The 2-2 again, that's off the fist, back up the middle. Here comes Skyler at second, he bobbles it! Everybody's safe. Here comes a second run, Miller is safe. The ball doesn't get out of the infield, but 2 runs come home to score. It's 3-0.
And I'm not sure that didn't hit the second base bag. That was right there. We'll have to see if we can see what happened. Paul Skyler came up on it. It was almost going to hit the second base bag. I'm certain the second base bag had an influence on the play. Certainly that second run home getting what would be probably considered an error. I'm not sure if you give him a hit on the first thing.
It's tough to tell. We're replaying the stream right now. It's either went off the front of the bag or the tip of Skyler's glove. You think maybe with the way it careened, it might have hit the base. We'll see how they score it here. It's 3-0. They're going to give Drew Vega a single on that play and also give him a couple of RBIs. So good. Perfect placement for Drew Vega to give the Sodbusters the lead. That's a called strike at the top of the zone for Jet Hannaford. After all the commotion, Hannaford, he's still got a chance to add on here in the second inning. So it was Miller and Wilson coming home to score. Crane stopped at second, and Vega at first. Hannaford 0 for 1 with, there's a double steal. Swing and a miss, throw down to third is hopped in there, and they don't get the runner. They almost did. Hochstein dug that thing out of the turf. Applied a quick slap tag, but not quite in time. Crane and Vega double steal.
Tremendous stop for Hochstein and able to get the tag down apparently as Jackson Crane hustled in under that tag. A good throw certainly gets him. And how about the Sodbuster ending 3 runs? They've had 1 ball leave the infield. That was a fly out from Tyler Welch. Pair of infield singles and then other stuff.
It's all led to 3 runs. That's just how it's gone. Time is called. T. Smith walking over to the Hastings dugout, and I think maybe did he forget the count? He's holding to his clicker. Andy Chase, the statistician, is holding out the game changer to him. We've got 1 balls and 2 strikes, so it is the scoreboard.
T, wait about 20 more years and then see if you can remember the count. Welcome to my world, T.
It is hot, but it is pretty early on. Let's make sure that T's got a couple bottles of Gatorade. So we have a 1 and 2 counts. T said 1 and 2. Now Gabe Shemwell's out of the dugouts.
I think maybe that's where the question came from on what the exact count was. So they're actually going to go to the field umpire, John Linden, to see if he had a different count, because I think and I'm not sure why the prospects would be upset, because probably the only other count it could be would be 2 and 1. They should be happy it's 1 and 2.
I'll say it was a 1 and 1 count, and then the double steal. Hannaford swung and missed. So it should be 1-2. If that is indeed what they're talking about, looks like that is what's going to happen.
They say 2-1.
So that must have meant, well, one of the first two pitches, or the first two pitches were called balls then. So that'd be why the prospects were upset for sure. Well, now it's 2-2 after the called strike at the bottom of the zone. Hannaford with 2 ducks on the pond here in the bottom of the second inning. Sodbusters striking early once again, as they have done so as of recent. 2-2 from Moffitt. Got him swinging strike 3. Fastball at the knees. Hannaford comes up empty for the second time tonight. But it's not before the Sodbusters add 3 runs on just 1 hit. As Steve mentioned, 1 ball put out of the infield thanks to a couple of hit batters and a walk as well. And it's Hastings with the lead, heading to the top of the third right after these messages on Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. FiskChiropracticSportsClinic.com. Start feeling better. There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Sodbusters enjoy their first lead of the night, 3-0, and you'll get to enjoy the next couple of innings with our good friend Steve Stein. Take it away, partner.
With that Hastings potent offense, pounding out 2 infield singles, 2 hit batsmen, a walk, able to be opportunistic, and that's what you need. This is kind of Sodbuster baseball. They do find a way. You look up, and how in the world did they score 3 runs out of that? But when they have been at their best this year, those are the kind of innings that just drive the other teams up the wall. You know, the opposing pitcher gets a little bit wild. Sodbuster shows some patience, put the ball in the right place, and all of a sudden they're on top by a score of 3-0. Marcus Miller, the beneficiary, as he goes out for his 38th pitch, his 3rd inning. He'll be facing the 9-1-2. Aiden Martin steps in the right-handed box to face the lefty. And the first one is inside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Aiden Martin. He's an Ellsworth Community College guy out of Council Bluffs, Iowa, and hitting really well for the summer at .408, a couple of doubles, 11 runs batted in, and 6 runs scored for Martin. 1-0 delivery on the way. And that also just out of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes on Martin. Martin also a candidate to pitch, and he's hit this Hastings team pretty well in the first 2 games, 3 out of 6, a 2 for 4 and a 1 for 2 game. Not very many players on this team have done that, as the prospects 109 against the Sodbusters the first 2 games this year. And Miller misses again. That's a 3-0 count, and all of them very easily could have been strikes, but just can't quite shave off a corner as he retreats behind the mound there, trying to find the strike zone and not allow the leadoff walk, which he did in the second. 3-0 delivery, and that is at the letters for strike 1, 3-1 on Aiden Martin. Martin trying to come through, get on for this squad. Yeah, the prospects haven't done much against the Hastings Sodbusters. 5 hits the first game and just 2 the second meeting. That was started by the guy on the mound. Bouncing ball to the left side. There's Miller. The shortstop comes up with it and throws to first in time. Aiden Martin, a good job for Chase Miller, who could be seeing some more playing time over there at that shortstop position moving forward for the Hastings Sodbusters.
Miller throws, Miller receives, Miller throws again. 2 different Millers on the play there, but Marcus Miller off to an excellent start. You mentioned the prospects haven't gotten anything going against Hastings this year. You think something's got to give, but to see if they can figure out the lefty that pretty much stymied them the last time they saw him.
Paul Schuyler, the Bellevue East grad, now playing at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, takes outside for ball 1. He grounded out his first time up. We mentioned Chase Miller, the shortstop, going to probably get a lot more opportunities. Christian Loera ended his time with the Sodbusters. Also a couple of the high school grads moving on to their next stops, Brock Cross. And also finishing his time with the Hastings Sodbusters, Jaden Shabriz. The pitch is in there for a strike. So good luck to those guys moving forward. Sodbusters maybe a little bit short in the middle infield at this time, but the good news this time of year with 11 games in 12 days here at home as the 1-1 delivery on the way is rifled to left field. That's trouble, and that's a base hit. And fielding it on a few hops will be Cale Jensen. It's a one-out single for Paul Schuyler, who continues to stay hot. But the Sodbusters do have enough pitching, according to Scott Galusha. And this time of year, can you ever have enough pitching? And right now, he's pretty happy with where they are with arms heading into this long stretch of games.
I'm going to say, if you had to choose whether you want maybe a little bit less defense or less pitching arms, you're going to choose the defense every time. Need fresh arms, especially with guys throwing, some guys every day or every other day, depending on how they do each day.
Finn Hochstein steps to the plate. He singled his first time up against Miller. A throw over to first, and back in safely is Paul Schuyler, who mentioned Schuyler just joining the squad as he's 1 for 2 today, now 5 for 9 on the season, coming off a 2-hit game against Fremont yesterday, and his 2 hits were a home run and a double, knocked in 2 and scored 2, and a 5-4 loss to the Moo. Pitch taken for a strike to Finn Hochstein. Hochstein, a guy who's been with the team throughout the year, 176 coming into today. 1 for 6 against the Sodbusters before that first inning hit, so now 2 for 7. And this prospect squad had a lot of guys who both played and pitched yesterday. As here's a foul ball, and that got a piece of Jude Greaves, and he will get a moment here. That may have got him below the belt.
I'm going to take a gander and say it might have, but, you know, it's what they say, run away from the pain. It walks up the line and shake it out a little bit. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Mention Hochstein against Fremont yesterday, 1 for 3, or I should say 0 for 2. He also pitched an inning, no runs, 1 hit, a strikeout, and no walks. They had several guys both hitting and pitching during the course of the matchup with the Moo. They lost that game 5-4 on a walk-off in the 7th. As they just played a 7-inning game because the Moo turned around and played the Bison. Pop-up foul. Seen Fremont do that a couple of times, trying to make up games. They end up having a split doubleheader against 2 teams. Sodbusters were involved in that with the Prospects earlier this year, where they played the first game, a makeup contest, and then the Prospects were there to play Fremont for the regularly scheduled game. Do what you can to try to get all these games in during the summer. And the Prospects have had a heck of a time getting games in Fremont. They were just happy to play yesterday. Although it wasn't plan A because Gabe Shemwell couldn't be there. Throw over to first. And just a couple of steps off was Schuyler. He had already planned for that weekend off, so he was going to a wedding. And so they had Matt Jones come in and direct the team yesterday in that 5-4 loss. Runner goes. Pitch is looped into center field. Could be trouble. That will fall for a hit. Good base running for Schuyler. He never hesitates, and runners will be at the corners with only one man out. The back-to-back singles from Schuyler and Hochstein. The Prospects trying to come right back in a 3-0 game with the Sodbusters on top.
A good 2-strike approach from Hochstein, not trying to power it too much. Got it off the end of the bat, but served it into center, and even a better read by Schuyler. He was off with the pitch trying to steal. He realized pretty quickly away that nobody was going to catch that and was able to cruise into third easily. The Prospects trying to get some of these runs back here in the top of the third. And a pretty easy spot here to do that.
Jude Greaves goes out, talks with Marcus Miller. No action behind him at this point. And Jacob Perrin steps to the plate. Miller's usually pretty good for about 100 pitches, regardless of how many innings he goes. And if he's not pitching against Fremont, his ERA has been microscopic. ERA for the season is at 4. It's well below 2 against everybody but Fremont. Pitch is taken, or I should say, swung on to miss for strike 1. Jacob Perrin, Bellevue East product, now playing at Southeast Community College. 275 coming into today's. Been very productive, 20 runs batted in for the 7-17 Nebraska Prospects. Runner goes, and the pitch is swung on and missed. No foul ball there, and so No hesitation. Hochstein with the walking leads. He's in scoring position now, second and third, and only one man out.
You mentioned that Perrin's been productive for the prospects this summer. He's the only guy to play in every game for this team this summer. Most guys have played just over 18. Nope, all 24 for Jacob.
0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Huge strikeout for Marcus Miller there, his third of the game, and now he has an opportunity to get out of this with no damage done as Elijah Russell will step in. He struck out looking his first time up.
Perrin always a dangerous hitter. He's got 20 runs driven in this summer, but that's his 22nd strikeout, so it's pretty much nuke or bust, for lack of a better term, for Perrin, and the bust coming true on this time.
Elijah Russell was at Southeast Community College, entered the portal, and now going to be headed to Ellsworth Community College. Pitch swung on and missed, no balls and a strike. That's in Iowa. 3-0. Sodbusters trying to maintain that lead through 2.5 here at Duncan Field. If you're in central Nebraska, even if you're not, you have plenty of time. 11 games in 12 days, all here at Duncan before closing out the regular season at Oahe on the 26th and 27th. 0-1 pitch right there for strike two. Good response from Miller. Gave up the back-to-back singles with one out. Keep in mind this inning started. He was down 3-0 to the number 9 hitter. Came back to get him on a ground out. So a chance to work out of a major jam. It could have been even worse if he would have walked the leadoff man. 0-2 with 2 outs. Runners at second and third as the prospects trying to salvage the inning. The Sodbusters trying to put another 0 on the board as Miller brings it home. Called strike 3. Miller loses his hat and sets down Elijah Russell, and that'll do it for the prospects. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We head to the bottom half of inning number 3. It's 3-0 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
At the bottom half of inning number 3, the Sodbusters on top 3-0 thanks to a 3-run second inning in which they scored 2 hits, both infield singles. The quote-unquote big hit of the inning was Drew Vega's infield single, which may have caught part of the second base bag, and 2 runs would score on the play. Hastings' other run scoring on a bases-loaded hit batsman inflicted on Jackson Crane. That's how Hastings scored its 3 runs. They sent 8 to the plate. It'll be Jensen, Johnston, and Greaves to bat against J.D. Moffitt, who probably deserves a little bit better than being down 3-0.
Yeah, like you mentioned last inning, Steve, you look at the scoreboard, 3 runs on 2 hits. Doesn't really tell the story of what happened, but kind of like we said, kind of Sodbuster baseball. It's fundamental. It's just from batter to batter. Nobody's trying to be selfish. Guys are willing to take a pitch or wear a pitch, get hit by a pitch, whatever it means to get on base. Moffitt, he is throwing it pretty hard, but just that one little hiccup in the second inning where he lost command of the zone for a little bit cost him right now. But usually that's what the pitcher needs sometimes, a little bit of a humbling. Okay, I gave up this on the mounds. Got to fix this, and more times than not, they can be pretty lights out the rest of the way. We'll see how the Sodbusters respond in this half of the inning.
3-0 Hastings on top, and Cale Jensen will step in the left-handed box. 250 coming into today, 7 out of 28. A home run, a double, 8 runs batted in, so a lot of productivity for the Central City High School grad, who's going to be making his next stop at D1 Illinois Chicago after stops at North Dakota State and at Northeast Community College. Pitch swung on and missed by Cale Jensen. No balls and a strike on Cale. Couple of multi-hit games. Had 2 against the Plainsmen, a 2-for-3 day, and against Fremont in the most recent outing, 2 for 5 with a double and 2 runs batted in. Pops this one in the air to left field and making his way underneath it. Another great job for Sean Robinson. It has been an adventure, but he has handled all chances successfully and 1 out here in the 3rd.
Yeah, that one you saw him having to stick his glove up there and move it at the last second to make the catch, but 3 for 3 for him so far in left tonight.
Weston Johnston comes to the plate, continues to be hot, has raised his average to 343 with that good road trip. 351 here at home. Had a 3-hit game against Fremont with 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored, and a couple of stolen bases. And swings and misses here. No balls and a strike on Weston Johnston as the Sodbusters went to Oahe for 3 in 2 days, losing 7-3, winning 11-4, and then losing 10-4 before beating Fremont 11-3 on Friday. Had the weekend off to get ready to go for a huge stretch of games as the pitch swung on and missed. Weston Johnston down, no balls and 2 strikes. 11 games in 12 days here, and then close out the regular season at Oahe on the 26th and 27th. Moffitt set to go for the 0-2. Bouncing ball to the left side. The shortstop picks it up. The throw to first is wild. Jensen will be safe. So Jensen at first, and the Sodbusters will have a 1-out man. As Johnston, I should say, is aboard after Cale Jensen flew out to left.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Ripken Fleck on such a slowly hit ball waited to let that ball come to him instead of charging it a little bit. I think that made him rush his throw a little bit. And when he saw Johnston getting down the line quickly, made the bad throw there for the error.
Weston Johnston aboard at first base with Jude Greaves, who had an infield single his first time up, and he takes strike 1, no balls and a strike on Jude Greaves, Metro Community College, Kansas City product, with that hit against Moffitt earlier in the game. Now 4 for 9 against the prospects this year. Pitch taken for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike on Jude Greaves. 3 multi-hit games for him, including a 3-hit game at Casper early in the year. 3 for 4, a double and RBI back on June 9th. Sodbusters on top by a score of 3-0 here. The first error of the game officially put in the prospects column as the pitch across for strike 1 and 2 on Jude Greaves. 246 coming into today. A couple of doubles, 5 runs batted in, 10 runs scored for Greaves. Sodbusters in their yellow jerseys today. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, and this one is popped up. That'll stay on the infield. Underneath it, making the play will be Paul Schuyler, and there are 2 outs. Weston Johnston retreats to first. Tyler Welch will try to salvage the inning. Ryan mentioned earlier he has raised his batting average to 158 coming into today. 9 runs batted in, 7 runs scored. Also sees some time on the mound from time to time, and against Fremont, he worked an inning and allowed a run on 2 hits and hit a batter in that outing. Does pretty much whatever he's asked here. Unofficially an assistant coach on the road, because Corey Caranda doesn't make road trips. Welch getting more starts at first base with the departure of Ryan Jarvis. Got to been by committee over there. Moffitt brings home the 1-0, and this one is fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike on Tyler Welch.
Hopefully Ryan's got us on wherever he's interning as his physical therapy job and still watching our games. If you're out there, Ryan, hope you're doing well, buddy.
Plus, he's got several Saginaw Valley Staters still contributing.
Exactly.
And he's been a nice recruiter as he went back and told the guys in Michigan, come to Nebraska. Bouncing ball to the right side, and the first baseman's got it. Elijah Russell will step on the bag. Tyler Welch is out, and that'll do it for the Sodbusters. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left. We're ahead of the 4th. It's Hastings 3, Nebraska nothing. This is Sodbuster Baseball. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
And inning number 4, Sodbusters continue to lead at 3-0. Marcus Miller out there as a guy who does a variety of things. Now a PE major, would like to see himself in the coaching venue in some respect. He's a professional disc golfer when he's not assisting with the Legion team or making spot starts for the Hastings Sodbusters. His last outing, he actually had a relief appearance against the Plainsmen, picked up the win on the 7th, going 4 innings, allowing 1 run on 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks in that one. He's been a very reliable guy when the Sodbusters have been in town, eating up innings, picking up victories, coming into today with the 3 wins, including against the Prospects earlier this season with, as Ryan mentioned, 7 2/3 innings of 1-hit ball, striking out 10. Hasn't been that sharp today, but put zeros on the board. The first 3 innings kind of get spoiled after watching the Marcus Miller of that day, but still doing a great job of working around some jams and throws a first pitch strike here to Ripken Fleck. Fleck has been in the plate once, and he walked back in the 2nd inning. Now in the top half of inning number 4, no runs, 3 hits for the Prospects so far against Miller, and that pitch stays outside 1-1. Marcus with 4 strikeouts and just that one aforementioned walk, which led off the 2nd. He battled back from a 3-0 deficit against Aiden Martin to begin the 3rd, which turned out to be really big. Got that ground out, and then the next 2 guys singled. 1-1 delivery. Misses high, 2 balls and a strike on Ripken Fleck. Fleck playing his college ball at Augustana up in South Dakota in Sioux Falls. He's a Millard North graduate. Braden Cork went to Millard North. His dad was a longtime coach there. 2-1 pitch. Just misses the zone. 3 balls and a strike on Ripken Fleck.
It looks like Marcus isn't trying to attack the zone as much as he'd probably like to. He's dancing around the edges, and the Prospects have let most of those edge balls go.
Here's a hard hit ball into left field for a base hit. A disappointed Weston Johnston couldn't come up with it. And Fleck around first. He's headed to 2nd. He'll be in easily with a stand-up double as Cale Jensen chased it down. Tough hop for Johnston, but that's a double all the way from Ripken Fleck and the leadoff man aboard for the Prospects for the 2nd time in 4 innings.
That was loud off the bat of Fleck. His 19th hit of the summer. Surprisingly, just 3rd double. Mainly, guys hits for singles, hits for contact. That one had no issue getting off the bat, 97 miles an hour.
Flight Scope stats brought to you by Eagle Distributing. Right-handed batter up there is Nikolai French. He had a swinging bunt his first time up and all sorts of traffic in front of home plate, and Jude Greaves able to dodge the bat, dodge Fleck, grab the ball and throw it to first to retire Nikolai French, his first time back in the 2nd inning. Fleck at second base, French the batter for the Prospects in the 4th. It's 3-0. And a swing and a miss here. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is the beer batter today as the Sodbusters, 14 out of 20 in beer batters' strikeouts so far on the season. Interestingly enough, that is their home record as well, 14-6. Coincidence? Yes, total. It's just total coincidence. 1-1 delivery on the way is low. Nice stop for Jude Greaves, keeping that runner at 2nd. 4-8 straightaway center, playing bigger today with winds blowing straight in from center field about 15 miles an hour. Temperatures in the 90s today. Going to cool off as the week goes on, but hopefully we'll stay dry here for baseball. There's a pretty good chance of rain tomorrow night. 2-1 pitch on the way. popped a mile high on the right side, foul territory. Welch throws back and will not get it. Just never got a good read on it, and it will fall for strike 2.
Well, Sodbuster fans will take that. That's strike 2. And another chance for a strikeout here. But, yeah, like you said, Welch didn't get a good read on it. The wind, too, is kind of picking up a little bit, the more than it was when we were at game time. Pretty steadily blowing in from center field now, likely the cause of that misread.
And yes, it does give you a potential chance at beer, but which is more important, the victory or the beer? Some days, apparently,
let's take a vote.
The beer.
I vote beer.
Apparently that is
a lot
the
of the
case.
clapping
Yes,
fans
yes,
you hear would
yes,
also vote the same.
Yes, if it's strike 3 here, the fans are saying the beer. 2-2 pitch on the way. Line drive foul, and it remains 2-2 on Nikolai French. 1 on, nobody out, top of the 4th. A 3-0 Sodbuster lead. First of a 2-game series here with the Prospects, but they'll get plenty of the Prospects as their final 4 home games against Nebraska. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, beginning July 22nd. Another 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball as French has had a couple of pretty good swings as of late against Miller, and Miller may have to do a little different pitch selection right here.
Yeah, he's gone fastball the past 2 pitches. Does he go to the breaking ball here? It looks like, to me, that means that French is sitting on the breaking ball and adjusting to that fastball last minute. I'd love to see a fastball lower part of the zone or just anything low in the zone here.
Miller brings home the 2-2 pitch. Went with the off speed and a great adjustment by French. He was able to just get a piece of it. It remains 2-2.
Hurt a little bit, fouled it off his legs. I think that's the second time he's done that tonight. He's at least the second prospect to do that tonight. But good pitch location right there towards the bottom of the zone. Would love to see it maybe a little bit lower this time. Looks like French might be in swing mode. You could get him possibly to chase a bad one here.
French and Omaha West Side High School grad. 2-2 pitch way high and way outside. 3-2. Miller threw it so hard he lost his hat. The last time he lost his hat, he got a strikeout. Not this time, and now it's 3-2. Big pitch coming up here. Prospects on the verge of getting first and second and nobody out. Miller trying to keep that from happening by bringing one over, and a great at bat for French. French, a D1 guy, as he is playing his college ball at South Dakota State. Miller a check of the runner. Brings it home. Swing and a miss. Went with the off speed, and French could not make contact.
A beer batter down on strikes. Perfectly located breaking ball. Went on the outside corner. That ball probably not a strike until the very last second. So French sees it out of the hands. He thinks it's going to be outside and can't pull the trigger until it's too late.
So big first out of the inning. Sean Robinson will step in, right-handed hitter, a St. Cloud State, Minnesota guy. He graduated from Omaha Scott. Runner goes. Pitch taken high. Throw down to third is not in time. Really good speed and a good jump for Ripken Fleck. He'll take third base. Runner in scoring position over at third now with only 1 man out.
A dicey gamble for Fleck, and he is the team leader in stolen bases, now his 9th of the summer, and he has not yet been caught. But he rolls the dice here. That's especially dangerous down by 3 runs. You don't want to make the out on the base pass there.
1-0 the count as the pitch missed to Sean Robinson. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. 1-0 delivery, swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike on Sean Robinson. Hitting just 100 coming into today, 2 of 20. Went 0 for 2 against Hastings, their first meeting of the year. And did enter the game against Fremont yesterday, went 0 for 0. 1-1 delivery. Bouncing ball to the left side. Could be trouble. It's knocked down by Johnston, but no play. It's an infield single and an RBI off the bat of Robinson. And it's 3-1 as Fleck comes in to score.
That stolen base does pay off. Easily coming home as Fleck. Robinson hits it on the ground pretty well and in no man's land right there. If Johnston it gets past him, then Chase Miller likely can't make a play at first. No matter how you draw it up, the run scores either way. So you do have a double play in order now, but believe it or not, that's a 5th hit for the Prospects already tonight.
Sodbusters have just 2, but they have a 3-1 lead getting a couple of infield singles, 2 at-batsmen, and a walk to get a run home. Here's a bouncing ball to the shortstop. Could be 2. Throw to second for 1. Over to first in time as the inning comes to an end. Chase Miller, Drew Vega, Tyler Welch to retire Isaac Borges, and the Sodbusters do give up a run on 2 hits. Nobody left, and we head to the bottom half of inning number 4. 3-1 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Welcome back to Sodbuster Baseball as Hastings owns a 3-1 lead. The Prospects come up with a run, but the Sodbusters get the double play. Ryan Valenta, Mr. Premonition today. If you want to play the lottery, you may want to talk to Ryan. He's got things happening. He's not artificial intelligence. He's real intelligence here.
I'm I'm Ryan Intelligence.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I think that might be all I have for the magical premonitions or speaking things into existence tonight. And yeah, the double play giving the Sodbusters out of the inning, and fortunate enough, too, the 1 run coming in on kind of tough luck. The leadoff double comes around to score, so more times than not it will come around. But they still have the 3-1 lead and a chance for the bottom part of your lineup here to keep the momentum going, hopefully, against J.D. Moffitt.
It'll be Zane Wilson, Chase Miller, and Jackson Crane to bat against Moffitt. Moffitt, over 50 pitches thrown now. Marcus Miller already up to 74 through 4 innings, so he'll need an efficient 5th to make sure he qualifies for the win. Zane Wilson hit by a pitch as part of that 3-run second. Difference in this game, Sodbusters lead at 3-1. First pitch strike to Wilson, who had a decent spring, 298, a home run, 9 runs batted in, 9 runs scored, played in about 32 games, was hoping better for this summer, just hasn't come around for him, but he feels like he's swinging the bat better now and puts a decent charge into this one, but that is into the air in Duncan Field, and that generally is an out, and that's the case here as Isaac Borges takes care of Zane Wilson for the first out of the 4th.
Yeah, you mentioned Wilson hasn't had the summer that he has wanted to, but it's not like he's striking out every other time. He's put some good swings on some balls, too, and you had a great interview with him. Has it all into perspective. Lots of guys, they're hitting poorly, and they're just hopefully here till the summer ends, and then they never want to play the game again. And Wilson just hasn't had the summer he's been having, but he's a guy that still has it figured out.
Here is his Saginaw Valley State teammate Chase Miller, who takes the first pitch for a strike. And we'll have that Zane Wilson interview posted to Spotify within the next day or so and allow you to hear that, as it was on our initial stream, which went by the wayside as the pitch inside and actually behind Chase Miller's. We had some technical difficulties, so I had to restart the stream. And so we will get that Wilson interview posted to the intranet so you can hear it by magic. It's crazy.
We started with Rocks and Fire. Now we've got podcasts.
Yeah, we've got
the
voice coming out of your computer. I just don't know how that works. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Miller after he fouls the pitch away. As Chase Miller, coming into today at 194, had a hit and a run scored in the Fremont game, the most recent outing for the Hastings Sodbusters this past Friday, winning 11-3. There's a 1-2 delivery on the way. And this one is bounced foul. It remains 1-2. Sodbusters now at 7-10 in road games, 14-6 at home. They've been 9 games over 500 5 times this year. Haven't sniffed that for a while as they come in with an overall record of 21-16, but the important stat, 5-4 in the second half, which puts them in 5th place among the 5 teams battling for the second half. As time called, as you have Spearfish leading the way. If they win the second half, it'll be the team with the second best overall record. And that's still too close to call. There's a lot of teams very much a part of things. Here in the second half, you've got every team except for Fremont with 3, 4, or 5 losses. Fremont 2 games over 500 at 8-6. Spearfish 8-3. Casper 9-4. Oahe 9-5. And so just kind of a mess there with the 5 teams. And Sodbusters, certainly you feel like if they put together a good stretch, they can be there at the end, but going to have to win many more than they lose here in these final 13 games. After the conversation, a 1-2 pitch is on the way. Just misses. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chase Miller. Hastings Sodbusters mentioned the fact they are much better at home. Although, as Ryan mentioned, the hitting stats fairly similar, road and home. 2-2 pitch is missing for 3 balls and 2 strikes. And I've got a little different stats than Ryan because, and from a statistical standpoint, I don't know if it's right or not. The Spearfish game there, the makeup game of a home game took place in Spearfish. Is that a road game or a home game?
I believe they still scored it as a home game for us, but we'll have to double check that.
3-2 pitch is called strike 3, and Chase Miller is down on strikes. It was a home game officially for Hastings, but it's played away from Duncan Field, and so I count it as a road game because it wasn't played here. So, so
that's a great point. Yeah, it was classified as a home game, but it wasn't played at home.
Yep, and because it's a lot different playing in Spearfish compared to Duncan Field. Here's Jackson Crane sending this one in the air to center field because that probably was extra bases in Spearfish. That is a lazy fly ball here at Duncan Field as Isaac Borges spotlighted in this bottom of the 4th. No runs on no hits as we head to the 5th. The Sodbusters continue to lead it 3-1. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now. There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Head of the 5th inning, Sodbusters with a 3-1 lead, and it's going to be the Prospects batting their 9-1-2 hitters against Marcus Miller, trying to get through this 5th and qualify for the victory, and will need an efficient inning. He threw 18 pitches last inning, trying to battle his way through here. You can't start an inning after 100 pitches thrown. And we take it to Ryan Valenta.
Thank you, Steve. We're having a discussion off mic, so we're losing track of the game here. This game's been fun. We've had technical difficulties. We've been bantering about random stuff, and stick with us, folks. You got us for the next 6 days in a row. Steve's going to take a breather. Oh, this is why we love summer baseball. You know, our producers at the minor league level say, guys, whip it into shape. We're having fun here, which is what we like to do. So in the top of the 5th inning for the Prospects, as we mentioned, 9-1-2 coming up. Aiden Martin, the designated hitter, 0 for 1 today, and down to the count, 0-2. Ball thrown back to the pitcher, gets away, and infield will have to help out Marcus Miller there. Aiden Martin for the Nebraska Prospects. Out of Council Bluffs, stays home at Ellsworth Community College. Didn't play for them in the spring, but has a monstrous average 408 this summer. But 0 for 1 today. Smacks that into center. That's in front of Hannaford, and it gets by him, and that'll be some more bases for Martin. Hannaford tracks it down, and into second is Aiden Martin. And that should be right there a single and an error. Hannaford did not get a good look of it off the bat. He's a little bit late to react to the ball. Maybe if he reads it perfectly, he might get there in time for the catch. That kind of eats him up there. So in my book, single and an error. We'll see how that is officially scored. But the Prospects have a runner in scoring position here as the leadoff man in the inning. And that is now the third inning that the Prospects have gotten the leadoff man on. So the E8 allows the runner to get into scoring position, and we're back to the top of the Prospect order. This is Paul Schuyler. He is 1 for 2 in the series, or in the game so far. Schuyler, a newcomer, just getting his feet under him, but had plenty of playing time with the Prospects last year. 1-0 is down low from Miller. 2 balls and no strikes. Sodbuster bullpen still quiet as of now. Could see Braden Cork out of the bullpen first. Was told that was the plan, but we'll just have to see. Pitch outside. It didn't miss by much. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Schuyler last year for the Prospects in 21 games was a .231 hitter. Part of that team that went 8-24 last year. The Prospects are 1 win away from their season win total last year. Miller does finally find the strike zone on the 3-0 to make it 3-1. Prospects, they will wrap up the season against the Fremont Moo. It's just the Sodbusters and the Moo left in the season for the Prospects. There is a walk by Miller. It's actually the first walk he's given up since the second inning, and just the second walk tonight. But Schuyler is on board for the second time. Did have first base open, so chance for a double play set up now. That is how the Sodbusters got out of the top of the 4th inning after the Prospects scored a run. Miller from the stretch again. Cut and a miss. Foul tip into the mitt by Finn Hochstein. Looked like he might have gone to the changeup there. That's an occasional pitch that Miller has been sneaking in. He's certainly a fastball and curveball first kind of guy. But he finds his own, gets a swing and a miss with the changeup. Looks like he goes with it again. It's swung on and missed, nothing and 2 to Finn Hochstein. Trying to keep his perfect day alive. He is 2 for 2 tonight. Hochstein came into today's game with just 6 hits in 11 games. 0-2, that is lofted to short. Miller off of his glove and into left field, a base hit. Runner will be held at third as Jensen gets to it quickly. A game of inches, and Hochstein, another 0-2 pitch that he gets a base hit on, which was oh so close to being the first out of the inning. So now it is bases loaded with nobody out, and the Sodbusters in a serious jam here. Now 7 hits for the Nebraska Prospects. They've had at least 2 hits in the past 3 innings each.
And isn't this baseball? Hochstein has 6 hits for the season coming into today. He has 3 hits today.
So now it's Jacob Perrin trying to get the Prospects back in this game. A tapper back to Miller. He'll go home for 1. The throw to first, and it hits the runner. And now here comes the run home to score. The throw by Welsh is not in time. A runner into third base. And there's no interference on the runner, Perrin at first base. They say he was within the runner's lane. The throw by Jude Greaves just was right into the back of him. Unfortunate break for the Sodbusters. It could have been a double play. They do get 1 out, but a run does come home to score.
Should have been a double play. Really unfortunate. That was a tailor-made 1-2-3 twin killing. But the inning will continue, and a run has scored already. Runner at third and less than 2 outs, and a chance for this Prospects team to get it tied and maybe more.
So Schuyler comes home from second. Hochstein advances to third. Perrin at first on the fielder's choice ground out, and now it's the cleanup hitter Elijah Russell. He takes a mighty swing and comes up empty for strike one. Also a time in the evening where the pitcher's mound partially covered by shadows, so is home plate. The ball can disappear into the shadows. It can come in and out. Potentially can confuse some hitters. Ground ball foul down the right field line. It's 0-2 on Elijah Russell. He's been struck out twice, both looking, and hasn't really been fond of either call by the home plate umpire, T. Smith. A strikeout would be huge here. You'd also take a ground ball right at somebody. The 0-2 pitch well outside. It's 1-2. Russell came into tonight's game hitting just 121. 13 games, just 4 hits. Still looking for his first hit tonight, but the prospects now with 7 hits in the contest. 3 of them coming from the man standing on third base. 1-2 from Miller. Runner goes from first. Ground ball served to second, so that means the only play will be at first, and the game is tied on the RBI groundout from Elijah Russell. Perfect play call there from Gabe Shemwell at third base. The runner in motion denies the Sodbusters of a potential inning-ending double play. So Hochstein is in. Perrin will advance to seconds, and Russell retired at first base by Chase Miller. Now here's Ripken Fleck, who's been a tough out today. He has walked and doubled. Out in front and missing the curveball there, 0-1. Well, the Sodbusters had the 3-0 lead after 2 innings of play, but 1 run in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and we've got ourselves a brand new ball game. Ripken Fleck, the 6th batter to come to the plate this inning. Miller gets a foul ball back to the screen, and he's now ahead 0-2. Miller getting up there in the pitch counts. That was his 91st pitch of his outing. 91 pitches, 58 strikes, so he's found a healthy amount of the strike zone. Just had a couple of occasions where he's been a bit off target. The southpaw with the 0-2 out of play, and we'll do it again. Perrin at second base. He represents the go-ahead run, but still plenty of baseball left to play here in the top of the 5th. About an hour and a half into game time here tonight. That one's not close on the 0-2 to make it a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Same time the rest of the week. Tuesday through Sunday, 6:35 p.m. start time at Duncan Field. So if you're not in the area, maybe we can be your weekend plans. The lefty trying to finish off a pesky Fleck. He'll ground it to short. Miller gets in position. The throw to first is picture perfect. Chase Miller makes the final out of the inning, but not before the Nebraska prospects grab 2 more runs to tie it up in the 5th inning on a couple of hits and a walk. It's 3-3. Sodbusters coming up in the home half of the 5th inning. We're now halfway gone of this one at Duncan Field.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood-bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
It's the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening and watching to Sodbuster Baseball. Both starters giving up 3 runs on the mound, but it's been a wildly different story in the hit column. Marcus Miller for Hastings has given up 7 runs, while J.D. Moffitt for the Prospects has only given up 2 hits. But his devastation has come on a couple of hit batters and a walk, which was back in the 2nd inning. Otherwise, it has been all 0 since then. He will have to tangle with the top of the Sodbuster order in the bottom of the 5th. Busters led it 3-0. Prospects have gotten back and tied it. That's good to see the Prospects show up with some offense tonight, as they were outscored 14-1 in the previous 2 games that the Sodbusters played them. Those were 7-1 and 7-0 contests. Sodbusters were 7-2 against the Prospects last year. Prospects had the season advantage back in 2023, 5-4. Well, to lead things off here is Drew Vega, the leadoff man for the Sodbusters, 1 for 2 today with an RBI, 2 RBI single rather, back in the 2nd inning, which did not leave the infield. Some help by the second base bag. J.D. Moffitt trying to complete 5 strong innings to potentially qualify himself for a win. Vega's turned it around at the plate as of recent. He's now got hits in 5 of his last 6 games. And make it 9 of his last 11 games. He's gotten a base hit. Ground ball over to first. That's right at Elijah Russell. The race to the bag, and Russell wins it for the first out of the inning. Vega now 1 for 3.
Yeah, J.D. Moffitt thinks, how in the world is it only 3-3? He's given up 2 hits, both infield singles, and if not for that one hiccup, he certainly would have the lead, as he has had the better, really, of Marcus Miller, but Miller has kept his team in it, as the Sodbusters also had the 2 errors to allow runs to come across in that 5th.
Now those 2 singles, a ground ball to the shortstop and a ground ball up the middle. Here's Jet Hannaford, who's over 2. He's been struck out by Moffitt twice today. A little excuse me swing, and that stays fair, and that's a tough break for Jet Hannaford. He will be out. Didn't mean to swing at it, but it's just inside the line. Back-to-back grounders to the first baseman.
Doesn't get much easier than that for Elijah Russell, and now Cale Jensen. We'll see if he steps up there and maybe takes a couple of pitches after Cale Jensen, or after Marcus Miller had to battle and throw a lot of pitches this past half inning.
Shows where my mindset is compared to yours, Steve. I thought you were going to say, maybe he'll try and take a swing for the fences here. I like your idea better. Yeah, take a couple of pitches and don't make your starting pitcher go out after a mere 5 minutes of rest.
Miller 94 pitches through 21 this past half inning. Jensen can leave the yard, but not today. It's wind blowing in from center. I don't even think Cale Jensen can get it out of here.
I hope this is where you're using your broadcaster's jinx right here. Strike at the knees. Jensen did blast one out of Oahe Zapp Stadium back earlier in the week, but of course much shorter fences there up in Pierre. Jensen out of play to the left-handed side, quickly down 0-2. Now the first 2 batters of this inning, 4 pitches, and this is going to be pitch number 8 of the inning for J.D. Moffitt, who is now at just 68 pitches on his outing, much less than his counterparts for the Sodbusters. Moffitt's 1-2 runs inside for ball 2. Probably felt the breeze of that one go by the kneecap of Cale Jensen. Guy who tore it up for the Sodbusters last summer, also tore it up for Northeast Community College this spring. 327 hitter with 16 home runs. He had more home runs than doubles. But he swings and misses at the breaking ball in the turf. Throw needs to be made down to the first, and it does. That is now 8 up and 8 down in a row for J.D. Moffitt. He is seemingly locked in right now, and we're through 5 innings. Still a 3-3 score here at Duncan. More baseball when we return after these messages from our sponsors.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Marcus Miller back out on the mound for inning number 6 for the Hastings Sodbusters. And also for inning number 6, it's Steve Stein back on the mic.
It'll be French, Robinson, and Borges to try to get things going for the Prospects. They were able to play 2 runs in the 5th inning on 2 hits. The Sodbusters committed 2 errors, which were very painful in that particular inning. The Sodbusters able to battle for their only 3 runs in the 2nd, and they look pretty big right now because the Sodbusters have done nothing since against J.D. Moffitt. Had a man reach on an error in the 3rd, and then Moffitt has set down the last 8 in the contest. 3-3. See what the Nebraska Prospects can get done as they send the beer batter to the plate. Nikolai French, who struck out his last time up, he is 0 for 2 and has not had a great look at Miller. He had that little swinging bunt the first time up. Had a big battle with Miller, but finally struck out after he had several foul balls against Marcus the last time up. First pitch swinging here, and he lines this one into right field. So a leadoff man aboard again. The Prospects continue to put pressure on the Hastings Sodbusters as they had their leadoff man aboard each of the last 2 innings and have scored 3 runs.
Sarcastic boo from the fans right below us as the beer batter singles on the first pitch. But yeah, it has just been all traffic on the base paths for the Prospects the past 3, now 4 innings as Marcus Miller's pitch count is nearing the end of his day.
You can't start a batter after 110, and Braden Cork is getting hot for the Hastings Sodbusters. A first pitch strike to Sean Robinson, who had an infield single and brought home a run his last time up. He's also struck out. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that's outside for a ball, 1 ball, and 1 strike on Robinson. Omaha Skutt graduate, the Skutt Skyhawk, now playing at St. Cloud State in Minnesota. Top of the 6th inning of a 3-3 contest. Sodbusters had an early 3-0 lead, but 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th for the Prospects. And this pitch popped up on the infield, and Vega calling off Welsh very late. Glad there wasn't a big collision there, and 1 out, runner at first here in the 6th.
Yeah, wouldn't that be the last thing that the Sodbusters need right now? You can see Welsh calling for it too, Vega calling for it. Traditionally, the priority or the hierarchy calling system, usually the middle infielders get priority over the corner infielders. Doesn't matter who makes a catch as long as somebody made it. Drew Vega did.
Pitches across for strike. Isaac Borges there. He grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his last time up. He also lined out to center. Now, the good news, if the play wouldn't have been made, certainly had a great chance to get the force out at second because French basically had to stay on first with that ball toward first base. Here's a bouncing ball. Looked to be into left field, but what an excellent effort for Chase Miller to knock it down. And runners will be at first and second. Great range for Chase Miller, but could not keep Borges from getting the infield single.
Thought maybe, obviously there wasn't going to be a play to first. Maybe if Miller knew it right away, there could have been a play made at second, but probably a good idea just to keep it in his back pockets and keep the runners at first and second base. Here comes head coach Josh Printer. Marcus Miller now at 100 pitches through 5 1/3.
We'll also see a new batter as Corey Kozad is going to step to the plate. It'll be number 7 instead of number 17. Corey Kozad will give up his first base coaching duties and get an at-bat here. He's a Wayne State guy. Millard West is high school, a returnee from last year's team, as he will have an opportunity here with runners at first and second. The conversation is complete. They will allow Miller to face Kozad, with Braden Court getting ready, trying to get the maximum number of pitches you can out of Marcus Miller, but approaching the end of his day for the Hastings Sodbusters here today.
And with that last base hit, that's now 4 straight innings. The Prospects have had at least 2 hits, or exactly 2 hits in each inning. I think maybe if Martin stays in his normal spot, you might trade Miller for Cork there, but a new hitter, give the opportunity for your trusted workhorse to retire the batter here.
Pitch across for strike, no balls and a strike on Corey Kozad. 153 coming into today. Does not have a hit against Hastings. 0 for 6 in the 2 games. He went 0 for 1 at his most recent outing at Fremont yesterday in a makeup contest, a 7-inning affair. Won by the Moo in walk-off fashion, 5-4. As pitch right there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Kozad. Miller trying to come up with a big finish to his day here. Miller with 5 strikeouts to go along with 2 walks in his outing. As the 0-2 delivery on the way. Lined foul. It remains no balls and 2 strikes. The single for French to begin the inning. A pop-up to the second baseman, and then Isaac Borges. The infield single. It was knocked down nicely by Chase Miller. Tremendous range for Miller to even get there. And runners at first and second, and only 1 man out. As the Prospects going with the powder blue shirts today, they have a variety of uniform combos. 0-2 delivery, swing and a miss, and a high hard one. We say hard one about 83 miles an hour, but when you throw the off speed, that looks pretty fast, especially in that part of the zone.
And you wonder, well, fastball 0-2, maybe you want to pitch, have a better pitch selection there. No, perfect one right there, especially with the location. 0-2 fastball out of the zone. The only thing you're trying to do right there is get the hitter to chase. Mission accomplished.
Paul Schuyler up there now. He continues to swing a good bat since joining this Prospect squad. He is 1 for 2 today, a single. He's walked, he's scored a run, he's also grounded out. And an off-speed right across to Schuyler. So if you're thinking an opportunity, Schuyler runs pretty well, but a hard-hit grounder at a middle infielder, and Hastings could turn 2 and get out of this with no damage done here in the 6th, as there already are 2 outs, so double play really wouldn't. We can't carry it over for some reason. And the pitch is right across for strike. Marcus Miller trying to get out of this with no damage done.
How about a strikeout right here to end your day? Miller with a couple of pitches left to work with. He's had some troubles finishing off hitters 0-2, particularly leaving balls over the plate too much where hitters can serve something into the shallow outfield, make this pitch look like a strike until it's not at the last second.
0-2 pitch. Outside, good spot there for that. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Paul Schuyler. Hastings Sodbusters 14-6 in games played here at Duncan Field this year. 7-10 in games played away from this ballpark. Had that 1 game at Spearfish, which was scored as a home game since it was a makeup of a home contest. There's a 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's pop foul and out of play. Still 1-2 on Paul Schuyler. He went to Cloud County Community College and now an Omaha Maverick. He graduated from Bellevue East High School. Most of the players on this Prospect squad from the Lincoln and Omaha area. Have a few guys from Iowa as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, the pitch. Misses low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Schuyler. Batting at the top of the order here in the top half of the 6th inning. Prospects trying to grab their first lead of the day. Hastings took a 3-0 lead in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th for the Prospects to get it knotted up. And Marcus Miller, 3 runs allowed, just 2 of those earned. 2-2 delivery, check swing foul. So talk about Miller laboring. Well, if he gets through this inning with no more damage done, you go 6 innings, allow 2 earned runs. That's a pretty good line. We're just a little spoiled the way Marcus Miller throws sometimes.
And unfortunately, this is going to be his last batter because that was pitch number 110 right there. So you want to finish him off right here because if Schuyler reaches, you have to go to the bullpen.
Here's the pitch. Oh, just misses. Man, oh man. And now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And if you do get out of this inning on this batter, you have a chance to actually still qualify for the win. If the Sodbusters would take the lead then in the bottom of the 6th, that you would still technically be a part of the game. But as Ryan mentioned, his last batter, one way or the other. He's hopefully heading to the dugout after this one with 6 complete. 3-2 pitch. Low for ball 4, and Marcus Miller can't get out of this 6th inning. A pitching change will be made as Josh Printer visits. It is a 3-3 tie, and this is Sodbuster Baseball. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Pitching change being made as the Sodbusters will turn to Braden Cork. Pitching change sponsored by Joyride Pedal Company as Hastings will go to the bullpen and Braden Cork comes in. He's 0-2, a 5.22 ERA, making his 7th appearance. In 16 2/3, he's allowed 13 runs, 12 of those earned, allowed 23 hits. He struck out 23, he's walked 13, he's hit 1. Opponents hitting .274 against Braden Cork. His last outing at Oahe, really good, 4 innings, no runs, 3 hits, striking out 5 and walking 1, trying to keep it a 3-3 game with runners at every bag, and now 2 outs.
Cork's a strike thrower. He knows how to find the zone, and his stats might be a little deceiving, and that's how it usually is for most players. They have one outing where they would like to forget or strike from the record. That one for Braden Cork, the start against Spearfish when he gave up 8 runs on 10 hits in 5 innings. Since then, only given up a total of 3 runs in his past few outings. He's got at least 2 innings in relief in every appearance so far. So he's a guy, expect him to pitch at least the next couple of innings, but the main goal, get this next batter out in Finn Hochstein.
And Braden Cork can settle his mind a bit as he has decided on his 4-year plan. Going to go to Washburn University in Topeka. He'll be in Ichabod, NCAA Division II school, part of the MIAA. So pretty cool for him to continue his baseball days after spending his time at Northeast Community College so far.
So, talked with him earlier today and caught up with him and said, yeah, some of the Northeast guys will be heading with him, kind of how he got his connection, and he'll have some familiar faces on the roster next spring.
Here's Finn Hochstein. What a day for him. 3 for 3 as he stands in the right-handed box, and the pitch is across for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Finn Hochstein, who entered today 6 out of 34 on the summer. A 176 batting average, 3 for 3. Pitch fouled back quickly, 2 strikes, trying to make quick work of Hochstein and get the Sodbusters in at bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Marcus Miller works 5 2/3 innings, but will not figure. Well, he actually could still take the loss if any of these guys come home, but cannot get the win. 0-2 delivery on the way. Backhand stop by Jude Greaves. How about that? Shorthand pick there to keep a run off the board for the prospects on that really tough one to handle.
Looked like a first baseman scooping a ball at first base there.
1-2 delivery on the way. Swing and a miss. Step on the plate. That'll do it. And the prospects do not score. No runs, 2 hits, 3 men left. We're to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's a 3-3 deadlock, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now. There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Into the bottom half of the sixth inning as J.D. Moffitt has been dominant since the second, even in the second. The only inning which he allowed hits, both of those were infield singles. His team has out-hit the Sodbusters 9-2, but it's a 3-3 deadlock, and Ryan Valenti, you feel pretty good about a 3-3 tie when you look at the line.
That's what you'd think on paper, but he has retired 10 out of the last 11 batters he's faced. The only guy reaching was on an error, but it's been 3 up and 3 down the past couple of innings. The strikeouts haven't been piling up. The Sodbusters have struck out a total of 5 times. But J.D. Moffitt's got his powerful fastball and then his off-speed stuff. He's mixed it in really well. No pitch has been super overpowering on its own. I think just the pitch selection and the mixture that he has dialed up the pitches in tonight has made him so successful. But just can't stop looking at the scoreboard and chuckling to myself. 3-3 game, 9 hits versus 2 hits.
And the Sodbusters, to put it in perspective, Marcus Miller does not complete 6 and throws 112 pitches. J.D. Moffitt will be throwing his 71st to begin the bottom of the 6th. He's thinking a couple of more innings if he can continue to throw the way he is throwing at this point, as Hastings will send Weston Johnston to the plate. Johnston 0 for 2, struck out back in the second, reached on an error in the third. We're now in the bottom half of the 6th inning of a 3-3 game. Every game big down the stretch as Hastings trying to catch up with every team in front of them here in the second half to claim the title. And literally every team is thinking we can win the second half because it is just a mess. About a game and a half between first and last, if you will, in the second half league standings. The winner to face Spearfish for the championship, and Spearfish does lead the second half with an 8-3 record. Pitch cross for strike to Weston Johnston here in the 6th inning. No balls and 2 strikes to one of the many Arkansas Tech players on this Sodbuster squad. Moffitt, a big breath, and the pitch. Outside for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Weston Johnston. J.D. Moffitt, Northeast Community College. He's a Millard West High School grad. A lot of Hawks have played here in the Independence League. Sodbusters have had their share of Northeast Community College players. 1-2 delivery inside, and it just misses Weston Johnston. 2-2. Don't know how he exactly got out of the way of that one. Weston Johnston, 10 multi-hit games for him. Had a 3-hit contest against Fremont. 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored, and also stole 2 bases in that game. 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball back up the middle. The shortstop's got it. The set, the throw to first in time. Well played there by Ripken Fleck for the first out here in the 6th.
Wasn't hit very hard, and the way that it was bouncing, thought it might kick off the mound and benefit Johnston a little bit. Not the case. He's now 0 for 3 today, and it's J.D. Moffitt continuing to cruise here in the middle parts of this game.
Jude Greaves, an infield single and a pop-up. He's 1 for 2. 3-3 the score of the Prospects and the Sodbusters. Hastings a relatively easy time with Nebraska the first 2 meetings. Bouncing ball foul beyond the outstretched reach of the head coach Josh Printer, who's down at first. Corey Coranda coaches first base with Printer at third. And Jude Greaves down to the count. No balls and a strike. 3-3 deadlock. Sodbusters in this game despite being out hit 9-2, and Sodbusters have also committed 2 errors inside, and it gets a piece of Jude Greaves. So he's aboard for the second time in 3 at-bats, and it was the hit batsman that proved big in that second inning. Hastings took 2 hit batsmen and a walk in that 3-run inning in the second.
Yeah, first guy, and now 10 batters to reach. That was back in the 3rd inning, the last base runner for the Sodbusters, and they finally have it. It's still without the benefit of a hit, which they haven't had one of those since the second inning.
See if Tanner Welch can get something done. A fly out and a ground out. His first two chances against J.D. Moffitt. Moffitt works exclusively out of the stretch. Brings the pitch home, and Welch pops it up. Foul, out of play. No balls and a strike on Tanner Welch. Hastings College graduate going to be headed back to Arizona to get his real estate license and join the real world like the rest of us. Well, not us, because like we're announcing baseball. We're not in the real world, but and it sounds like Tyler would like to continue to maybe coach too, so I don't think he's going to be too far from baseball. 0-1 delivery. At the letters for strike two. I'll have to battle here with a runner at first and one man out of a 3-3 game here in the bottom of the sixth. This game now belongs to Braden Cork from a Sodbuster standpoint after he struck out the lone man he faced. And Marcus Miller can't figure in the decision either way. 0-2 delivery. Inside. Curveball. Did not catch a part of the plate and also probably low as well. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tanner Welch for the Hastings Sodbusters. A couple of multi-hit games, both of those coming here recently. One of those at Oahe on the 10th of July, 2 for 4, 2 runs batted in and a run scored. Puts this one out of play as the Sodbusters had that brief road series, played 2 days and 3 games up at Pier. A doubleheader on Thursday after a single game on Wednesday. They lost 2 out of 3 to them and then beat Fremont on Friday before having the weekend off. 1-2 pitch on the way. Foul back, and like many off days this year, would there have been a better day to play baseball either Saturday or Sunday, and Hastings did not play? The best days they've had this year have been their idle days. When they've played baseball, there have been some absolutely awful days for baseball, and we appreciate the Sodbuster fans who've come out here to set through rain and then 100-degree weather and wind, and we've had a little bit of everything in home games this year. Pretty good night today. 1-2 pitch, and Wells sends this one high in the air, but this will not be a problem for the center fielder, Isaac Borges, and there are 2 outs in the inning as he is had a very good day patrolling the spacious center field here at Duncan Field.
Breaking ball that Moffitt went with there. Welsh just got under it. Wouldn't say that was a hanging breaking ball, but it certainly appeared to be a pretty hittable pitch there. Welsh would probably like to have another swing on that one.
Here's Zane Wilson, 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the second. Flew out to Borges in the fourth. Takes this one the other way, but foul. No balls and a strike on Zane Wilson. Finance major wants to work with his mother.
Oh, no, we got catcher's interference, it looks like.
So struck the glove of Nikolai French, and so disappointing there for the prospects. And all of a sudden, the Sodbusters have first and second 2 outs. This could be a huge turning point here. And can Chase Miller find a way to come through for the Hastings Sodbusters?
Yeah, you can see on the replay that French, right after he swung at that, did Wilson kind of pulled his glove back in, kind of like ooh, that kind of hurt, but I'm going to try and not give it away. T. Smith called it right away. He was all over it.
It's a good job for the home plate umpire, T. Smith. Catcher's interference put runners at first and second. A big chance here for Chase Miller as he stands at the plate, and that almost got a piece of Chase Miller inside. Ball 1. He drew a walk as part of that second inning, and again, a little manufactured rally here. Sodbusters don't have a hit. A hit batsman and a catcher's interference to put runners at first and second. Remember back in the second inning, infield single, a couple of hit batsmen and a walk, and another infield single to plate 3 runs. 1-0 delivery. Outside, and that gets away from the catcher, Nikolai French. And it goes into the dugout. I believe it's going to be a dead ball. Do the Sodbusters get the extra base here?
It should just be 1 extra base. It should just be second and third, but the Sodbusters, they're going to run home and hope that there's no change to it. We've seen it happen before. I'm 99% sure when that's happened here this year, it's just second and third. Everybody gets a base from where the pitched ball was.
We believe Greaves will be at third and Wilson to second.
Or maybe not.
Wow, Gabe Shemwell's going to come out. And the ball got into the dugout as the Sodbusters are going to get a run home on the extra base here. So I think John Linden, who helped out T. Smith, he is going to come in to visit with Gabe Shemwell. But yeah, like you've said, I'm certain we've also seen that happen before here, and they just give the one base. Talking things over still with the two umpire and crew here. Gabe Shemwell did not coach the team yesterday. He was away, so Matt Jones directed the prospects in their 5-4 loss. And right now the umpires are talking things over and trying to figure it out totally. As at this point, Greaves is in the dugout with a potential lead run. Is that going to stand?
Looks like they're making the right call here, and because there is a ruling where if it's a fielded ball, so it's different. On a pitched ball, it should be one base for everybody, but if the ball gets hit into the outfield and the runner or the fielder throws it out of play from there, then it's a different story. Then it's two bases from whenever the runners were for the ball was thrown.
But on a pitched ball,
should just be one base.
Yep, so... Well, right now, Josh Printer's getting his money's worth. And there hasn't been any real animation in either of the coaches, just trying to make sure that the right call is made. And if it's your guys, you're trying to make the call, sure the call goes for you.
Well, yeah, and probably what Printer's saying, well, you called it this way, why are you changing it now?
Yep.
Which, I mean, they don't have the rule books in their pockets. They're just going on based on what they know. But you can kind of see the John Linden, the field umpire, holding up one, saying it should just be one base. Yeah, the Sodbusters, the base runner, Jude Greaves, has not come back out of the dugout yet. Maybe they still don't have a decision here.
And now they're going to call Gabe Shemwell over, and that's probably not good news for Gabe Shemwell. This could be huge. Right now, the Sodbusters have apparently taken the lead on an umpire call, and another inning, the Sodbusters have a chance to score without the benefit of a hit.
Regardless, it'll be at least second and third, if not the run here.
Chase Miller will have the count his way regardless of what is going to happen. And fascinating turn of events, and you hate this for the umpires too, that you'd like some definitive nature, but we've seen a different umpiring crew. We're saying what we've seen before is just the one base. So, but neither one of these guys were doing the umpiring that day. So, and like I say, you feel bad for them because there is definite confusion and believe they are going to leave it with a run being scored here, and hope that Gabe Shemwell just has cooler heads here. Right now, the Sodbusters are going to be given the run. So Hastings catches a monster break here. It's a wild pitch. The ball gets into the dugout, and they award an extra base with Jude Greaves coming into score, Zane Wilson to third, and Hastings has taken a 4-3 lead on no hits. They had 3 runs on 2 hits. Both those hits, neither of them left the infield back in the second. This inning, hit batsman, catcher's interference, wild pitch, which got into the dugouts. And now Hastings has a 4-3 lead. And Chase Miller has the count his way. The pitch. Inside for a ball. And again, what a great game. J.D. Moffitt says, how in the world can I throw much better than this? Even though it was his wild pitch that did result in the run. Here's the 3-0 delivery. And it's a walk. And now, the way the prospects are right now, I'm sending Chase Miller just to make them make a defensive play. They've had to stand out there and think about this thing, and now the Sodbusters have runners at the corners, and Jackson Crane will come to the plate.
And they probably all know that, or thinking that the wrong call was made, so they're probably a little tilted in the dugout. Get Miller on the move and see what you can make happen. Love the idea.
He does not go. The pitch is taken upstairs, but you also think, well, can J.D. Moffitt find the strike zone, and maybe you can turn the order over for Drew Vega. 1-0 the count now on Jackson Crane, who is 0 for 1, but has a run batted in. Pops this one out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike on Crane. Pivotal point in the game. The Sodbusters given a run here. Should they have been? Probably not. But they'll take it at this point. They've been out hit 9-2, and they have a 4-3 lead. Here's the pitch. Inside. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike on Jackson Crane. Big moment in this game. Sign flashed by Josh Printer. We've yet to see Miller think about taking off. Will he here? Moffitt out of the stretch. Miller stumbles. It's a bunt down the third base line. Could be a tough play. The throw home, not in time.
Are you kidding me? What a play call there. Not only does Crane get the bunt down, but Wilson sprints home. He is safe on the play. Bunting with 2 outs. Obviously, the prospects weren't expecting that. I don't think we were either.
Nope. The third hit of the day, all infield singles, and Hastings has taken a 5-3 lead. And J.D. Moffitt will have a visit to the mound from his head coach, Gabe Shemwell. And again, Moffitt, we've got to think, what in the world can I do to get outs here? Has not allowed a hit out of the infield today. That one was about 12 feet down the line. Perfectly placed bunt from Jackson Crane. He's given an infield single here and a run batted in. The number 9 hitter's got 2 runs batted in. The Sodbusters have 5 on the board. And it's going to be Drew Vega for the Hastings Sodbusters to try to continue this, what could be pivotal 6th.
It pivotal indeed. No way else to look at it. Now with a 2-run lead. Yeah, if that call doesn't get made, or just can't say enough about. That had to have been a call down at third base by Josh Printer. Crane has some speed, and you roll the dice with a lot of speed on the base paths, and it hits the lucky 7 number.
Here's the pitch. Vega's first pitch swinging, but hits it in the air to center field. Isaac Borges over in the right center field gap to end the inning, but Hastings comes up with 2 runs on 1 hit. They leave a pair. We head to the 7th. It's Hastings 5, Nebraska 3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Out of the 7th inning of a 5-3 contest, Sodbusters get a huge call and then an infield single to plate their 2 runs in the 6th inning. And now it'll be Braden Cork out for his first full inning of work. He threw 4 pitches to strike out Finn Hochstein to end the 6th. He'll get Perrin, Russell, and Fleck here in inning number 7. Gabe Shemwell out visiting with the umpires after that last half inning. And give Gabe Shemwell some credit here. He has not apparently been very animated, even though I'm sure that he thinks that the call probably wasn't the right one. It ended up being a wild pitch, and they awarded an additional base after the ball got into the dugout. We've seen identical situations here at Duncan Field in earlier contests, and it was just the 1 base. But Hastings, given the wild pitch and the error to get a run home, and then Jackson Crane with the infield single to get a 2nd run home, and now a 2-run lead, and Braden Cork will be the pitcher of record now for the Hastings Sodbusters if Hastings can keep the lead in the final third of this one. First pitch misses to Jacob Perrin. Perrin 0 for 3 in the game. A pop-up, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice grounder, and Braden Cork misses with his first 2 tries here in the 7th inning. 2 balls and no strikes to Perrin. Southeast Community College product from Bellevue East. 2-0 delivery. Swing and a miss. 2-1 the count now on Jacob Perrin. Big swing against Braden Cork for the Hastings Sodbusters. Braden working out of the wind. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball foul. Shemwell trying to climb the ladder there, couldn't quite get it done. Fielded by one of the bullpen guys down the line for the Hastings Sodbusters. That's Josh West, who tosses it back in to one of the coaches. 2-2 the count. Cork brings it home. Comes right back after 2 straight balls, 3 straight strikes. Jacob Perrin, the second strikeout victim of Braden Cork. And it'll be Elijah Russell to come to the plate here in inning number 7. Russell, a fielder's choice grounder to bring home a run in the 5th. He's 0 for 3 on the day. A pair of strikeouts earlier against Marcus Miller, who could not make it through the 6th inning and was not figuring this decision. Bouncing ball back to Braden Cork. Feels the second hop, throws to first in time. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. And Ripken Fleck will try to salvage the inning for the Nebraska Prospects.
That's exactly what you want. 2 quick outs and just keep the pressure on. You know the Prospects are probably a little bit flustered after last inning. Don't give them a chance to catch their breath here.
I do give Game Shemwell a heck of a lot of credit. He never really raised his voice. You didn't see him animated at all, and a situation where he could have gotten upset. And that also is a good example to your team in terms of trying to have them keep their composure as well. 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Ripken Fleck. Braden Cork hitting about 85 with his fastball, 80 with his slider. As this pitch is bounced back up the middle, and it's into center field for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Ripken Fleck. Our Flight Scope announcements are brought to you by Eagle Distributing.
Second hit of the day for Fleck, this time a single in addition to his double already. Pretty hard hit ball right up the middle. Double digits in hits now for the Nebraska Prospects, and they're a hit away from continuing their 2-hit streak in most innings.
It's Ripken Fleck, 2 for 3 with a run scored, and Nikolai French is 1 for 3 as he stands in. Here is the beer batter, and he did strike out once in this contest. 5-3, the Sodbusters on top, despite being out hit 10-3. Wacky line that has Hastings on top. Each team has committed a pair of errors. The pitch misses. 2 balls and no strikes on French here in the 7th. Teams will play again tomorrow, and then a 4-game series to end this long homestand. Bouncing ball into right field for a base hit. Runners will be at first and third as Ripken Fleck was off with the pitch. He's easily into third base, and as Ryan Valenta mentioned, another 2-hit inning for this Prospect squad, and Cork trying to survive this 7th, still with a 5-3 lead.
11 hits now in the night, 5 straight innings where the Prospects have had exactly 2 hits. Second inning they were hitless, and first inning they had a hit. It's been hit-a-palooza. Still on the wrong end of this decision right now, though.
And Sean Robinson 1 for 3, and as you might expect, with 2 hits in every inning, they're pretty much getting hits up and down the lineup, and something that they just have not done against the Hastings Sodbusters. Just 5 hits in the first meeting, a 9-inning contest won by the Sodbusters 7-1. It was a 7-inning game. The 2 teams met on the 20th, with Hastings winning that one 7-0, and they had just 2 hits on the day. 0-2 pitch on the way. Called strike 3. And the Sodbusters escape again. Sean Robinson down on strikes, no runs, 2 hits, 2 more men left. Double digits in runners stranded for the Prospects. Stretch time here in Hastings. It's the Sodbusters 5 and the Prospects 3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood-bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At the bottom of the 7th inning, the Hastings Sodbusters continue to lead at 5-3. And for the second straight inning, the Prospects starting pitcher, J.D. Moffitt, really slow coming out of the dugout. He's just now getting out there for his tosses as the Hastings Sodbusters do own a 5-3 lead. And now comes over and has a moment with home plate umpire T. Smith. Moffitt, 6 incredible innings, 93 pitches thrown, has allowed only 3 hits, but somehow Hastings has managed 5 runs with those 3 hits.
Just the name of the game right there. Sometimes things don't go your way, and when we say situational hitting or situational baseball, it's exactly what the Sodbusters have done in the 2nd and the 6th innings. The only times that they have managed to get their runs on the scoreboard, but J.D. Moffitt, all he can do is hopefully throw up another quick 0 for the Nebraska Prospects. You mentioned he's at 93 pitches, so he's got about 17 pitches to work with before he is legally required to come out of the game. But for the Sodbusters, escaping another jam on defense, try and piece together some of that momentum of getting out of an inning into some offense here.
Here's Brady Alexander for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's having his first at-bat at home as a Sodbuster, even though he's had plenty of at-bats in this park for the Plainsmen. He hit .421 against Hastings here at Duncan Field, and after that last matchup with the Plainsmen, joining Hastings, and he has just picked right up where he left off. .364, 4 out of 11, a double, 3 runs batted in, 5 runs scored. He's batting for Jet Hannaford here in the 7th, and he has been really good, was red hot at the end of the Plainsman time, and good to see him in Sodbuster yellow today.
Yeah, I just wondered when he was coming up against Sodbusters, all right, is he going to hit another double here? He was a doubles machine in that series.
First pitch swinging here and bounces it over beyond Josh Prenner and also by the third baseman for a foul ball. No balls and a strike on Brady Alexander. He's an Ohio Bobcat. Opportunity to get a Division I guy on the team, and that's fun. From Glenshaw, Pennsylvania, Shaler High School. Bounces this one foul. And it's 2 strikes quickly on Brady Alexander. Alexander's got some pop. A couple of home runs for the Plainsmen. He hit .305 for them with a triple, 4 doubles, 9 runs batted in, and 8 runs scored. And mentioned his success against the Sodbusters, .421 against Hastings here at Duncan Field. 0-2 pitch right off the end of the bat. Cued over to Corey Carrand at first. It remains no balls and 2 strikes on Alexander.
Fortunate just to get a piece of that one. He was way ahead out of the breaking ball. Might be a little bit nervous. You know, like you said, he's had some at-bats here at Duncan Field, but first time wearing the gold uniform here in Hastings.
Went 1 for 4 against Fremont on Friday. Had a double, a run batted in, and 2 runs scored, and pops this one in the air to short center field. The shortstop ranges back. A lot of range shown there by Ripken Fleck, and Brady Alexander's out to begin the 7th.
Good read by Fleck to get to that. Neither outfielder got the best jump on it, especially Borges in center. He actually broke back on that, then had to sprint in. But fortunately, his infielder teammate there to help him out.
Cale Jensen 0 for 3 as he stands in the left-handed box against the right-handed pitching J.D. Moffitt, nearing the end of his day for the Nebraska Prospects, and certainly deserves better than to be down 5-3 with his offense mounting 11 hits. The Sodbusters have just 3 hits, but taking advantage of the opportunities presented them. 3 runs on 2 infield singles in the 2nd, 2 runs on 1 infield single in the 6th. Pitch misses to Cale Jensen. 2-0 the count on the left-handed hitting Cale, as he looks to break into the hit column for the first time today. And the pitch. Cale watches this one go by for ball 3. Hastings trying to continue to put the pressure on the Prospects after they had just scored 2 in the last inning on a hit batsman, a catcher's interference, a walk, a wild pitch, and an infield single on a bunt. Jensen rifles this one foul. And the wild pitch actually got into the dugout. The Sodbusters were given an additional base. That allowed the first run of the inning to come in to score. And then Jackson Crane with the 2-out bunt single to score the second run for the Hastings Sodbusters. Cale Jensen stands in the box and is ready for J.D. Moffitt. Moffitt takes a little time and brings it home. Rifled into center field, that's a base hit. Sodbusters have their fourth single of the day, and Weston Johnston will come to the plate with 1 on and 1 out.
Cale Jensen picking up where he left off over the weekend. Had a couple hits against Fremont on Friday and one in the doubleheader of the Oahe series. He is already up in just his 9th game as a Sodbuster to 8 hits.
And got off to a slow start. Struggled out of the gate here in Hastings, but Scott it going, and great to have Cale back with the team in advance of his first year at Illinois Chicago. And that will probably do it after the visit to the mound from the catcher. We are going to see a pitching change as the Hastings Sodbusters will face a new Nebraska Prospects hurdler, 5-3 Hastings, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Pitching change will be made here as the Hastings Sodbusters own a 5-3 lead and looking for more. Our pitching change is sponsored by Joy Ride Pedal Company. You can get details at joyridepedalco.com as the Hastings Sodbusters will now be facing Jake Smolinski of Southeast Community College. He's a Gretna High grad. A 19.6 ERA, making his third appearance in 5 innings, allowing 17 runs, 14 of those earned, allowing 19 hits. He struck out 2. He has walked 3. He's hit 5. He's also a position player as well. And say when this prospect squad has gone on the road and they've gotten behind, they have thrown pretty much everybody. Some have had success, some have not, and consequently a team ERA of over 9. They gave up 20 runs in back-to-back games at Spearfish. So you're going to have days like that, and that's unfortunately, Ryan Valenta, for the prospects, they've just had guys with inflated ERAs because we've been on the other end of that where you're going to go out. If you can throw strikes, you may get beat around a little bit, but you need to get 3 outs regardless of how many more runs you give up.
Yeah, and you can tell Smolinski definitely not a pitcher by trade. You mentioned he's primarily a position player, playing 15 games in the field. Isn't really getting a whole lot of velo or juice behind these balls right here, and maybe he's got some more. He's just saving it for the actual at-bats. But like you said, the prospects team, they're a team where I bet you throw anybody on the mound and they could eventually get 3 outs, and some of them quicker than the others. But that's why they're on this team. It's why they're called the prospects. We'll see if Smolinski can settle things down, but you know J.D. Moffitt would have loved to get 2 more outs and only had his team having to get the final 3 outs afterwards.
102 pitches for Moffitt, who certainly deserved better because the Sodbusters could get more here as the pitch is taken for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes, just 1 out here and 1 on. Hastings looking for another run here, and that runner over there is Moffitt's responsibility. Allowing 5 runs, 4 of them earned, striking out 4 and walking 2, and he allowed only 1 hit out of the infield. The other 3 hits were the infield singles for the Hastings Sodbusters. 1 ball and a strike on Weston Johnston. A frustrating day for him at the plate so far. 0 for 3. Did reach on an error earlier. Rifles this one into left field. Smolinski was touched up for a hit, and the Sodbusters have back-to-back hits and runners at first and second and only one man out.
Yeah, curious to see how the Sodbusters adjust to the slower velocity. We'll get those numbers in just a few moments, but Smolinski not getting a lot behind it with his legs especially, but better job by Weston Johnston not to be fazed by it. Some guys, they have a hard time adjusting to slower velocity, but that one 93 off the bat.
Jude Greaves a big day. He's 1 for 2, but he scored twice. Hit batsman his last time up and bounces this one back off Smolinski. He's able to pick it up, an underhand toss to first. Excellent job there as that ball off the bat of Greaves got a piece of Smolinski, but he was able to hang with it. There were 2 outs as the runners advance.
Yeah, you hold your breath right there and pray it doesn't get you in a bad spot, but Smolinski appears no worse for wear. Might have gone right off the side, and he appears to be completely okay. Got second and third, and a big chance for Tyler Welsh.
Welsh trying to bring home some insurance runs. Hastings on top by a score of 5 to 3. Here's the pitch. Curveball stays inside. 1-0 the count on Tyler Welsh. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Not much offense for this Hastings team, but they lead by 2. They've been out hit 11 to 5, and the first hits this inning, the first to leave the infield. And we're in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch swung on and missed, 1-1. The other 3 hits, all infield variety, including a bunt single to bring home a run last inning. 1-1 delivery. Hit into left field for a base hit. 1 run will score. The Sodbusters will have runners at first and third as Welch continues the inning with a big 2-out single, and Hastings leads it 6 to 3.
It's the Tyler Welsh we have known for the past couple of years. Just a clutch hitter, comes up in situational spots. Isn't trying to completely tattoo the baseball. This puts a nice good swing on it into left field for the RBI single.
You're hoping for something similar from Zane Wilson right here, who's been in the middle of a lot of action. Hit by a pitch. A reached on a catcher's interference. He has 2 of the runs scored so far. Hastings leads it now 6 to 3 as the pitch is outside for a ball. Wilson officially 0 for 1 in the game. His only shot to the outfield was an out. 1-0 delivery on the way. Outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Smolinski trying to get through this 7th with no more damage done. That last run charged to Moffitt. Pitch way outside. Nice stop there for the catcher, Nikolai French. 3-0 the count now on Wilson, trying to get Chase Miller to the plate here. Bottom of the order getting it done, not necessarily with hits, but just finding their way on and setting the table. 3-0 delivery. Taken for a strike. Wilson's been on board twice. Chase Miller's walked twice. Jackson Crane hit by a pitch and an infield bunt single. So 7, 8, and 9 have been on base 6 times. Bottom half of the 7th inning and the pitch. Ball 4. So now the Sodbusters have him loaded, and Chase Miller comes up in a huge spot against Smolinski.
Miller, like you mentioned, he's been walked twice, so he's shown his patience at the plate. Another fun factor, too, with Sodbusters coming into the inning with 3 hits. They've now doubled that count with just 4 batters.
And this inning, the only inning that they've had their hits leave the infield. Pitch taken for a strike. No balls and a strike on Miller. That hit for Cale Jensen, the first to leave the infield for Hastings. The first hit out of the infield against J.D. Moffitt, who was then lifted from the game. It's been Smolinski next, and mixed results as he puts this one out of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike on Chase Miller. Let's give it up a single to Johnston, an RBI single to Welch. He's walked Wilson, and now 1-1 the counts with the bases loaded for the Sodbusters. Pop-up, right side, foul territory and unplayable. just got into the Prospects dugout, and Miller going to have to battle here down 1-2.
Even though he's down 1-2, as a 2 strikes, as a hitter, you usually shorten up your swing. I think that's kind of what the Sodbusters and especially Miller should have been trying to do this whole at-bat. Against Smolinski is not throwing hard whatsoever. He's barely getting above 71 miles an hour. Just look for some soft contact and just try and put it in play. Not too much.
1-2 pitch on the way. Outside, great stop from French. That certainly saved a run as it hit in the left-handed batter's box, and French able to one-hop it, and it's 2-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-2 pitch on the way. Fisted into left field, but foul. It remains 2-2. Good job there for Miller to make contact and get another chance here against Smolinski. Bases loaded. Big spot in this game. Sodbusters already lead by 3. Can take a big step toward putting this one on ice with a hit here. 2-2 pitch. Taken upstairs. 3-2 now, and that will mean that the runners will be off with a pitch. As Chase Miller, if he could gap one, could bring 3 home for the Hastings Sodbusters. Miller had a hit against Fremont the other day and a run scored. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 4, and the Sodbusters lead it 7-3. As Miller, good patience, he's aboard for the 3rd time. Now has an RBI and a run scored of the game as Johnston scores. Welsh at 3rd and Wilson at 2nd, and here comes Jackson Crane.
And we knew Miller had patience at the plate. His 3rd walk tonight, and also walked 3 times in the road series the previous part of the week.
Pitch to Jackson Crane, foul back. No balls and a strike. Key at bat for him in the game. Actually, 2 key at bats. He was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded to bring home a run in the 2nd. Infield single on a bunt in the 6th inning, and now in the 7th. Sodbusters now with a 4-run lead, 7-3. The pitch. Another bouncer foul over by the Prospects dugout. Quickly 2 strikes on Jackson Crane. Again, to adjust to the 70-mile-an-hour fastball, it takes a little bit, and he's way out in front here trying to find a way.
You can see Crane is up all the way in front of the box to try to adjust to the slow pitches.
0-2 delivery, low for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jackson Crane. So since he has come in, a single, a walk to go along with the ground out. 1-2 delivery. Low for a ball. Another nice stop from French, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sodbusters trying for the knockout blow and put Braden Cork in a better position to finish out this game with a victory. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fisted foul back behind us, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jackson Crane. Same 2 teams tomorrow, 6:35 game. 6:35, you can just put it on your calendar. 11 out of the next 12 days, the only off day next Monday. 2-2 pitch outside, 3-2, and that will put the runners off again. As we have seen this new pitcher, Smolinski, already throwing 24 pitches, half of them strikes. Here's the pitch. Inside, hits him. How about the second bases loaded hit batsman from Jackson Crane? 3 runs batted in from the number 9 hitter, and Hastings continues to play small ball and put the runs on the board.
How about that? 2 of those RBIs have been coming from getting hit by a pitch. 8-3 now, and you feel really good about this. Drew Vega coming up the 9th player to come up this inning.
Sodbusters have been out hit by 5, and they lead by 5. Yeah, go figure. Vega takes strike 1. No balls and a strike on Drew Vega. Vega, an infield single back in the 2nd. Ball that bounced back up the middle and got a piece of the second base bag, which brought home 2 runs. That's the quote-unquote big hit of the game so far. It's been that kind of a day for the Hastings Sodbusters. Here in this frame, 3 runs on 3 hits. The delivery? And a pop-up on the infield. That should do it. The shortstop will make the play. Ripken Fleck. But Hastings with a successful go. 3 runs on 3 hits. They'll leave them loaded. We head to the 8th. We'll have Ryan. When we come back, it's 8-3, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
It's 8-3 Hastings as we head to the 8th. Here's Ryan Valenta.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Sodbusters leading by 5, and this game on its face maybe hasn't seemed the most interesting, but for me, and I don't know about everybody else, probably going to go down as one of the more eye-opening and interesting games. You had to really watch it from start to finish. Sodbusters take a 3-0 lead after 2 innings on some pretty legit baseball. You had a single, a couple hit by pitches, and a 2 RBI single. That was the big hit that Steve was talking about, the 2 RBI single from Drew Vega that may or may not have hit second base. Prospects tie it up at 3 after the 5th inning on some small ball and some situational hitting. And the Sodbusters with the last 5 runs in the 6th and the 7th innings to take the 5-run lead. 8-9-1 coming up. Isaac Borges swings and misses at the first pitch. Braden Cork back out there for his second full inning of work. He allowed a couple of singles in the 7th, but got out of the inning unscathed. 1 ball, 1 strike to Borges. He's got a hit today. Now the Prospects with 11 hits. They were just singling away, and a couple of doubles off of Marcus Miller, who ended up giving up 9 of those 11 hits. Cork has given up the other 2. Cork has struck out 3. He's bidding for number 4 right here, and he'll get it on a called strike 3. Fastball on the back door freezes Borges. Another backwards K in the books for Sodbuster pitchers. That is the 6th backwards K of 10 strikeouts tonight for Prospect hitters. Cork with his 4th and back-to-back as he struck out the final batter in the 7th. So now at the dish, it's Corey Kozad back up for his 2nd time tonight. He came on as a pinch hitter back in the 6th inning, and he struck out swinging for the 2nd out. Misses outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the order on deck for the Prospects here in this top of the 8th inning. Fastball sprayed out of play by Kozad on the pitch from Cork. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sodbusters looking to stay perfect against the Prospects this year. They have won their only 2 other contests. Fouled off again, and Kozad will stay alive. This season, Corey Kozad, a 154 hitter, 8 for 52 coming into tonight's game. The delivery from Court got him swinging. Strike 3. Kozad chased a pitch that dropped outside of the zone. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Braden Cork.
Braden Cork had a 2-0 count to the leadoff man in the 7th, and since then he has just been cooking. Was behind 2-0 before the French single, but for the most part he has been getting strike 1 to the batters here today.
Now back to the top of the order, Paul Schuyler for the 5th time tonight. He is 1 for 2 only because he's walked a pair of times. Both of those were against Marcus Miller, though. This is the first time that Cork has seen Cork has seen Schuyler, as he will now face all 9 batters. Schuyler with a single and a 3rd, the walk in the 5th and the 6th. It's 0-1. That's cracked to third, into the glove of Weston Johnston over to his left, throws on to first. A uneventful 1-2-3 inning. Braden Cork sets down the prospects in order, 8-3. If there's any insurance for the Sodbusters, now is the time as we head to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching Sodbuster Baseball.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning, and once again, the prospects don't have a guy on the mound to start this thing off in a timely manner. However, we know it will not be Jake Smolinski because he has ran out to play shortstop. And that is in the place of Ripken Fleck. And sure enough, grabbing the baseball on the mound will be Mr. Ripken Fleck. So he will be tasked to pitch the 8th inning and hopefully get the final 3 outs of this contest for the Nebraska prospects.
Pitching Change is sponsored by a really cool business that we like to talk about. It's Joyride Pedal Company, as you have an opportunity to check them out online, joyridepedalco.com.
If you ever wanted to combine exercise with some drinks that may or may not be alcohol, then you've got your case right there. 14 passengers fit on a bike, and you travel around, well, mostly the Hastings downtown area. Drops you off at bars around there, and a lot of good time for friends and even family, if your family's cool like that. Well, for Ripken Fleck, he'll be on for the 4th time this summer. He's pitched in a total of 5 innings of work. Has not pitched against the Sodbusters this year. 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts to the tune of a 1.40 ERA. He will go up against the Sodbusters 2, 3, and 4 hitters. It'll be Brady Alexander to lead it off for a 2nd straight inning. Sodbusters scored 3 but stranded 3 last inning on 3 hits. Smolinski was charged with all but 1 of those runs. And Ripken Fleck trying to provide any sort of sliver of hope of a Nebraska prospect's comeback in the 9th inning. Called a strike on the outside corner to Brady Alexander. Former Plainsman turned Sodbuster, up for his 2nd at-bat, came on for a Jet Hannaford as a pinch hitter in the 7th and popped out to the shortstop. As far as we can tell, that pitcher and shortstop swap, the only one being changed. That's a line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Alexander will have a leadoff single in the bottom of the 8th inning, as he is content with a big round around first base.
His first official Sodbuster hit here at Duncan Field, even though he's had plenty of hits at Duncan Field as the opposition. His 10th hit overall here at Duncan Field.
That's his 5th hit as a Sodbuster. He's now 5 for 13. Not quite a double, but you'll take the leadoff guy on. Cale Jensen watches the first pitch go by for a strike. Sodbusters will have at least a 5-run lead going into the 9th inning. Pitch from Fleck. Jensen late on the fastball. It is 0-2. Well, we saw Nate Fisher getting warm in the Hastings bullpen, but now it looks like Elijah Thomas is getting loose. We could also see him in the 9th and perhaps maybe a little bit of a lower leverage situation. 0-2 pitch. Fouled back and through the concourse. And it'll stay 0-2. Cale Jensen tonight, he had a single his last time up, which was just muscled into center field. Later learned that that line drive, if you will, was only 70 miles an hour off the bat. 1-2, that gets off of the catcher's and umpire's shoe, and he can't find it. And this is going to be 2 bases on the wild pitch. Alexander goes from first to third. Nikolai French just could not find the baseball and did not get any help from his defense or his dugout.
Have we seen some weird things today? A ball that got into the dugout, allowing 2 bases earlier in the contest. You had a catcher's interference that same inning. Infield single on a bunt with 2 outs, scored a run. It's been a goofy game.
Your baseball bingo card probably has multiple bingos on it tonight. Another pitch bounced in there. This time it is stopped by French, and the count goes to 2-2. Yeah, that last one, I think I got the foot of the home plate umpire T. Smith, so it ricocheted all the way back to the screen, and French had no idea until it was too late. 2-2 to Jensen. Breaking ball, crushed foul, and we'll do it again.
Had an infield single that got 2 runs batted in. 2 official RBIs on an infield single early in the game, and another thing that you generally don't see.
2-2 pitch. That's popped up on the infield. Calling for it is the new shortstop, Jake Smolinski. Dances around a little bit, but makes the grab for out number 1. So Jensen will likely finish his night with a 1-for-5 ledger. It'll be Weston Johnston to try and get the run home. He has been the RBI guy this year. Johnston, 27 ribbies, has a hit tonight, and he's also reached base a total of 2 times. Johnston had that single in the 7th, a solid base hit to left. Pitch from Fleck. Right down Broadway on the breaking ball, 0-1. Approaching 3 hours of game time. A fairly crisp game with the exceptions of some lengthy innings. Up high, 1-1. After this game concludes, you've got 10 chances left to see the Hastings Sodbusters in action in the regular season. A playoff berth still very possible if the Sodbusters can have a fortuitous end to their schedule the last couple weeks of July. 4 more games against the Prospects, a couple against the Zap, and 3 against the Bison. Johnston down 1-2. High fly ball, well foul. That'll get into the Prospects bullpen. Remaining at third is Alexander. He singled to start off the 8th and then took 2nd and 3rd on a wild pitch. Jensen popped out. Johnston now the 3rd batter of the inning. Sodbusters averaging 6 1/3 runs per game. They're over that mark tonight. And after scoring 7 runs in each of the first 2 games against the Prospects earlier this year, they're able to scratch across 8 tonight, even though they are still being out-hit by 4 knocks. 1-2 from Fleck again. That is hit on the ground and through the left side again. That's back-to-back singles for Weston Johnston. Alexander comes home to score, and Johnston with a multi-hit game for some insurance. In the 8th, it's now 9-3.
His 11th multi-hit game of the year. You kind of figured that was going to go by the wayside when he started 0 for 3, and the Sodbusters were coming to bat in the 7th, but what a couple of goes here as they scored 3 in the 7th and now an insurance run here in the 8th.
Johnston now at 38 hits this summer. The team high last year was 47, so he is just 9 hits away from surpassing the season hit total leaders from last year. Pop-up foul territory just out of reach of Elijah Russell. Both him and Paul Schuyler lose their lids trying to chase down that foul ball. So Alexander is in. So now it will be at least a 6-run lead going into the 9th.
A single, a 2-base wild pitch sets up the opportunity to get the run home.
So that run will be unearned against Ripken Fleck. A 1 Shaves off an outside corner to Jude Greaves. And he's quickly down 0-2. Greaves with a hit. He's now had a hit in all 3 games against the Prospects this summer. Johnston away from first. He's got a walking lead and now forces the pitcher to step off as he was probably going with the pitch right there. Fleck fortunately realized it in time. Greaves with a singular hit tonight, and he swings and misses. That's a strikeout and 2 outs in the inning. So Tyler Welsh, the final potential at bat for the bottom of the 8th inning. Sodbusters have now scored in 3 straight innings after they were held to just 3 runs over 5 innings. Pitch low, and it skips away from the catcher, and got to make sure that one doesn't fall into the dugout again with the fiasco happening earlier. Johnston advances to second on the second wild pitch of the inning. Tyler Welsh with the RBI single back in the 7th. Welsh up to 7 hits in Sodbuster summer. Pitch from Fleck, low and stopped by French. It's been the pitching that has let down the Prospects all this season. Then again, just a tough luck outing for their starter, J.D. Moffitt, tonight. Way high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Wilson waiting on deck. Off screen, Josh Printer, third base coach and head coach, down with some words for his dugouts. Skipped in there for ball 4. So another base runner reaches. A couple of singles and a walk. It's first and second for Zane Wilson.
Prospects, I think they've got some pretty good starting pitching, but just really struggle when they get beyond their top guys, and you kind of see that here the last couple of innings.
The bullpen has not done them any favor. I'm curious to see if they had a stat for that on Game Changer. I mean, we could go and do that by hand. It would take a long time, but just the comparison of the starters' ERAs to the bullpen's ERAs. Be interesting to see how that would look. Zane Wilson fouls the first pitch off. He is still looking for his first hit tonight. He is only 0 for 1. Tries to get the big hit right there. Comes up empty. He's been hit by a pitch. He has walked, and he's reached on catcher's interference. And he's also flown out. Wilson just with 3 hits on the summer, but pretty nice interview for him. A guy that has it all into perspective when he has been struggling this season. That is our latest interview of the Sodbuster Spotlights. You can find the players' interviews we've done throughout the season on the Sodcast on Spotify. The SOD cast, all one word. 1-2 to Wilson. Another one skipped in there, and man, I don't blame umpire T. Smith right now, dodging out of the way of every pitch right there, because he had one skip off of his foot, and Prospect pitchers have been very wild these past couple of innings. Speaking of wild, the deuces are wild in this 8th inning. 2-2, popped up in foul territory, should be a play, and making the running catches, Finn Hochstein right in front of the Sodbuster dugout. And they will plate 1 for insurance in the 8th, and they need just 3 outs in the 9th to seal this one off. Sodbusters will be back in the top of the 9th, so will we. You're watching the Sodbuster Baseball Network.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Final call for the Nebraska Prospects in this top of the 9th inning. Thanks for sticking with us throughout this now 3+ hour long game between the Prospects and the Sodbusters, first of their 2-game series. Teams will wrap up the start of the week tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. And tasked with closing this thing out for the Hastings Sodbusters is the righty submariner Nate Fisher. He'll be on for his team-high 15th time this summer. And for him, he has a total ERA of 3.60 in 20 innings. He's made 1 start, last out against Oahe 4 days ago, where he pitched 3 innings in relief and allowed 2 runs. Hit a couple of batters, but he's been pretty consistent out of the bullpen. He's hit a few batters in his past 3 outings, but a guy that deceives the hitters with his funky delivery. Finn Hochstein grounds the first pitch he sees to third base. No problem for Weston Johnston. 1 up and 1 down on 1 pitch.
You like that when you're trying to get out of here and get home, as you've got 10 more games in the next 11 days here at Duncan Field. Try to conserve energy, conserve pitches, and it really couldn't have gone better as they were able to get Braden Cork out of there at 29 pitches, so he didn't eclipse that 30-pitch mark.
First pitch, called a strike to Jacob Perrin. Nate Fisher has seen the Prospects earlier on the June 20th game, where he pitched an inning and a third in relief. Gave up a hit and a walk, but did not allow any runners to come home to score. So Fisher on from Bixby, Oklahoma, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M freshman. Pitches inside, didn't play for them in the spring. Fisher unmistakable on the mound, the squat, the wide setup, and the underhand toss inside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jacob Perrin, 0 for 4 tonight. It's the 3 and the 4 hitters, the only guys that have really struggled in the lineup to get on base or get hits. 3-1, that actually hits him. It'll be a hit by pitch. Mentioned that Fisher has struggled with that. It's now the 4th straight outing he's hit at least 1 batter.
And if he's going to be a more high-leverage guy, he's got to figure that out, as that has just been an Achilles. 12-hit batsman for this right-hander.
You also may be wondering, well, why don't you just send Braden Cork out there? He's only at 29 pitches. Well, with the pitch count limits, there are, with the new 29 pitches where you don't have to have a day of rest, so the Sodbusters can technically use Braden Cork again tomorrow if they so choose. But it appears that that might be the case. A new pinch hitter is on the mound for the Nebraska Prospects. This is Cody Cizik. Swings and misses at the 0-1 pitch to make it 0-2 by Fisher. Cizik, 15-game participant for the Prospects this summer out of Omaha and Northwestern College out of Orange City, Iowa, a 190 hitter. The 0-2 for him. Outside, he's got 8 hits in 15 games, but he has struggled with the strikeout. He leads the team with 26 punchouts. Perrin stands at first after he was hit. The 1-2 upstairs. The count runs even at 2-2. 6-run lead for the Hastings Sodbusters. Trying to get a little streak going here, their start of home games. Check swing, and that's a foul ball, looks like, or Cizik flicked his hand away as if he was hitting the hands.
I think he was hitting the hand, but they say he swung, and he has no argument.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, I think he got him right on the hand, but he was technically swinging, and so he's right back in the box.
Looks like it got off the knob of the bat and then maybe ricocheted off his hand a little bit, too. 2-2, called strike 3, froze him on the outside corner with some paint.
A perfect pitch there. I mean, Cizik just saw one on the inside corner, so you know he wasn't going to be crowding the plate and trying to reach out, and one on the outside corner was the perfect pitch there against Cizik.
The final hope for the Nebraska Prospects, and it has gone alternating game for the Hastings Sodbusters the past 7 games. They're trying to break a streak of that. It's gone win-loss, 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 win. So if you like trends, Sodbusters were trending to lose this game, but they are 1 out away from breaking that. Out of play by Ripken Fleck, and the Sodbusters are a strike away.
And you don't want to think about, having to win 11 or 12 in a row, but, you figure probably going to have to win maybe 9 down the stretch to put yourself in a position to win the second half.
Fisher trying to salt this one away. The 0-2 to Ripken Fleck. Called strike 3, and that is your ball game. The Hastings Sodbusters, they win it here tonight, their 3rd win against the Nebraska Prospects, as they will take this one by a score of 9-3 despite being out-hit 11-8. A big, wacky game here tonight. Sodbusters find themselves out on the solid end of this one. The 6-run victory, as we've got plenty to talk about, and we're very excited to hear the head coach's comments of this wacky win tonight. No a better way to put it besides interesting and odd. Sodbusters find a way. They had it tied up in the middle of the game, but they score the final 6 runs to win it. We'll have more coverage when we return. Busters win it here at home tonight to start off their 11-game homestand stretch.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Welcome back to the Sodbuster Baseball YouTube Network. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein with you on our post-game show. Final score, if you're just somehow joining us, 9-3. The Sodbusters win it, and they are back-to-back winners of games for the first time in a couple of weeks. A much-needed win tonight. Steve, there's no real good way to put this tonight. We saw a little bit of everything. Sodbusters took an early lead. They got it tied up. Some mischievous actions happened. Losing the lack of a term there, but in an interesting way, the Sodbusters won it tonight, but they got it done with some runs in the late inning, and the pitching was great too tonight.
Well, the Hastings Sodbusters today, they did not have a hit that was a base hit out of the infield until the 7th, yet they win fairly comfortably. It certainly never felt like a comfortable win, even though you win 9-3. Had a heck of a time getting anything to go offensively, but just found a way to manufacture runs, got some breaks, and all of a sudden you look up there and they're getting some insurance runs down the stretch. Really, the pitching was decent enough today, even though the prospects got all kinds of opportunities with multiple hits in 5 straight innings, but give the pitchers credit, they didn't fold and able to put zeros on the board for the most part, minimize the damage, and let the offense eventually come through.
Now, final line score tonight, 3 runs for the Prospects on 11 hits, 2 defensive errors, and they end up leaving 9 on base. The Sodbusters with 9 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors, and believe it or not, surprising to me, they left more men on base than the Nebraska Prospects did. So pretty bizarre. That's all we can say about today's game. Let's see if Josh Printer can help us figure out this one too. I was telling Steve, probably one of the more interesting games we've seen. It featured just a little bit of everything. How are you guys able to get this one done tonight?
Especially when they went to the couple position guys on the bump there, we knew we needed to capitalize on that and get some insurance runs for our pitchers that did a great job for us all day. But, we ended up that controversial call there, and then that bunt with Crane, that was a missed sign. Third baseman was irritated with me. That was not called. He did. He thought I gave him a bunt, and he saw the third baseman back, so he said let's do it. But no,
Wow.
that was not planned. And third baseman was a little irritated with our dugout and with me about that. I tried to explain it to him that it was a missed sign, but I shouldn't say that on the air. But it was a missed sign there. That was not a bunt with 2 outs there for us, but ended up working out, and we ended up getting 2 runs that inning, which was huge in the, I want to say, bottom 6 or bottom 7, and then just kind of scrapped a couple more after that. But
And why is this a big deal? Okay, explain for baseball people. You score any way you can. I can see if you're up by 8 and you're not wanting to bunt to get an insurance run, but that's a 1-run game at the time. I mean, why was that against baseball lingo, if you will?
It wasn't at all. He knew I knew he was irritated with the call, and he was kind of barking at the umpire and everything, and he thought I knew that he wasn't really paying attention there, and so he wasn't fond of that. But no, I mean, with him playing back and everything, if I was to call that, or if we were to call that, if Vega's up there and it's a free hit, it's a free hit. But no, that was not planned though. But no, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't bush league or nothing. You never know with 2 outs, you can still lay one down, especially if they're all the way back. But yeah.
And the offense, we talked about this multiple times on the broadcast until the later innings. None of the hits left the infield. You're finding ways to lay them down, and then finally you mentioned the getting to the position players that you broke through there, but you're facing a really tough pitcher, J.D. Moffitt. He had your number for most of the middle innings. What made him so tough tonight?
Just throwing more than one pitch for a strike. I think he kind of caught us with we were kind of caught in between timing. We weren't on time with his fastball nor his breaking ball. We were kind of caught in between tonight.
Marcus Miller, he maybe didn't have his A stuff or what we've seen before, but did a good job of putting up zeros for the most part. And then Braden Core comes in and picks up the win, and you get another 0 on the board from Fisher. Talk about your pitchers today.
Miller got us out of, I think he had runner at third the first 2 innings, or runner in scoring position for the first 2, but ended up getting us out of those, and ended up pitching a solid 6 innings, or 5 2/3, and then Core came in a big, huge situation, base loaded 2 outs, and shut the door there, and that was a huge momentum swing for us in our dugout, and then Fisher came in at the end and closed the door for us.
Well, we didn't get to get your thoughts before the game, but this stretch now, it's now going to be 10 games in 11 days, but you're coming into today 11 games in 12 days. Just how mentally prepared are you and this team? I mean, the pros do it all the time. You guys get to do it all the time, too. How are you guys feeling coming into this brutal stretch of almost no days off?
Not going to lie, I'm not going to say great because, taxes on the body, but I kind of reminded them today about just been here 2 years. First year we got out of the running pretty early. We had those last week or so that wasn't meaningful, and so I talked to them last year that we every game up to the last one itself, but try to find a way to just keep your brain into it, keep your mind on it, especially when we play. It's going to be taxing on the body, but at the end of the year, you want to have something to play for and play some meaningful baseball down the stretch, and just take it one at a time, and just make sure we do what best we can to try to give us a good opportunity to play meaningful baseball down the stretch.
We're looking forward to it. Coach, appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to keeping the success going tomorrow with another win. Head coach Josh Printer, and oh my goodness, Jackson Crane missed a sign, and it turned out to be one of almost the best things to happen to the Hastings Sodbusters that evening. I mean, I think my jaw was on the same with yours right there. Could not believe it. And, I mean, we mentioned, it's not a Bush League play. It's not like you're bunting to break up a no-hitter.
Oh, yeah.
It's, I think
Which
it was just
I
compounding.
still think is okay. My wife so what do you think about that?
Well, it depends on it. Okay, if it's like
are you trying to get a hit? Are you trying to you're trying to win the dadgum game?
If it's like a 4-0 game or less, do it, because any base runner can mount a comeback. If you're doing it in a 10-0 game, just to be not so nice person about it,
just to get on base to break up a no-hitter. Yeah, I don't want the other guy to get a no-hitter.
See,
my wife is with you.
Yeah,
she thinks that's totally Bush League. I'm thinking you're trying to play baseball, right? Yeah, and you're trying to win the game. And if you can't get a hit off a guy any other way, you bunt. So I'm sorry, we totally got away from this. We got 11 more days to.
We've got a lot more. We got a lot more days to save our voice about it. So we'll talk about more of this. Maybe we'll pose as kind of a question. Let us know what you guys think maybe tomorrow. Let's go over our final numbers before we send you on our way tonight. The Sodbusters with 9 runs on 8 hits. Multi-hit game from Weston Johnston with a pair of singles. Sodbusters all in the singles category tonight. No extra base hits for them. Drew Vega, Brady Alexander, Cale Jensen, Jude Greaves, Tyler Welsh, and Jackson Crane, all with base hits. And Crane with 3 runs driven in, kind of an interesting mark for him. He had the bunt single, he had the RBI hit by pitch, and another RBI hit by pitch too. So he drove in the runs kind of the hard way tonight. Marcus Miller does end, well, it should be Braden Court getting the win. Game Changer says it was Miller, but it should be Court getting the win tonight, with going 2 1/3 in relief because the score changed when he was on the mound. He'll go 2 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts. Miller a no decision, 5 2/3, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts. 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Nate Fisher gets the final 3 outs an inning and 2 strikeouts. Sodbuster pitchers impressive with 13 strikeouts tonight and only 3 walks. The prospects with 11 hits. Finn Hochstein with a 3-hit game. Also multi-hit games from Ripken Fleck and Nikolai French. Had Paul Schuyler with a base knock. Sean Robinson, Isaac Borges, and Aiden Martin also with a hit for the Nebraska prospects. J.D. Moffitt, tough luck loser, 6 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Jake Smolinski and Ripken Fleck combined to pitch the final inning and 2/3 of baseball. But the Sodbusters improved to 3-0 against the prospects this year. They get win number 22 on the season. Still got some work to make up in the second half standings. And if you can't catch up in that, you become an everybody but Casper fan right now. Sodbusters are 3rd overall in standings. Spearfish still top, Casper 2nd. So if Sodbusters would finish 2nd in the overall Independence League standings, then they would become the second half champion. But still have a lot of wins to get under your belt before we start talking about that. But a good momentum builder to start the week, Steve.
Yep, that's you don't want to think about winning 12 in a row. You just want to think about winning 1 in a row 12 times. So you just step 1. There you go.
I think how the coaches, they phrase it as go 1-0 every day.
Yep.
Something like that. We're on the same page there. That's going to do it for us tonight. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein saying so long. Big shout out to our broadcast crew, Mason, Connor, and Noah doing the broadcast and fixing the technical difficulties at the start. We thought, oh boy, we might have to be radio only or audio only tonight. But our broadcast engineer team of Mason and the gang helping getting us all up and running this evening. Same time tomorrow night. We'll see you then for more Sodbuster baseball. Until then, Ryan Valenta wishing you a happy rest of your Monday evening.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch the